Good evening, everyone. This is the Rooftop Sports, hereby joined by partner in crime, Jay Trident Podcast. And we are here for game 3 of this 4-game set against the Los Angeles Angels, Julio Rodriguez's favorite ballpark to hit, apparently. And today's pitcher is going to be George Kirby against Tyler Anderson, as the Mariners are going to try to find a way to resilience themselves after a very disappointing extra innings defeat against the Angels. And I didn't watch the game, so I can't really have a strong opinion about it, other than the fact that Julio is starting to heat up. But aside from that, Trident Podcast, how are you doing?
Doing well. Thanks for having me. And hopefully we talked about this last time. We haven't had a lot of W's when we're doing this together. So we are due for a win.
We are due for a win. And strangely enough, George Kirby is pitching again, because the last time we were together, George Kirby was pitching that no-hitter he was pitching the no-hitter, and then all of a sudden, like that 6th inning, everything just blew up. And let's just hope that doesn't happen again. And which baseball team actually pitches a no-hitter going to 6 innings and then they completely blow it? The Seattle Mariners, apparently.
We talked about that. It's not like, we can understand giving up a run, if someone gets into one, but it's like, man, sometimes these pitchers, they're cruising through 5 innings, and then it's like they just give up 4 or 5 runs, and it's like in 10 pitches. It's like it just unravels sometimes. It hasn't happened really since, fortunately. I guess Castillo wasn't great against Milwaukee, but that was kind of more JP, and that was throughout the game. But yeah, it's like, how do you go from perfect through 5 to not even getting out of the 6th inning?
Yeah, not at all. It's just bizarre. And maybe, I don't know, maybe something, the fact with the lack of run support, maybe it just got to Kirby. Maybe it's just the stress that is getting to these pitchers, especially when just last year they were pitching nearly perfect baseball. And of course it still wasn't enough. And it doesn't seem to be a surprise that they would take a step back. Can I blame them, really? Not really, considering how much they were burned last year.
Yeah, but you're right. They really, it's they have taken a step back this year. It's been really unfortunate, because I think the offense has been good enough that if the starting pitching was like, let's say last year, I don't know what number we're going off of, but let's say it was the best in baseball, and let's say it was like 9th this year, I think they're probably in first place in the division. So it's just, one thing goes right, you can't get them both going. It's always a Mariners frustration, but one day at a time, and hopefully, a chance to win this one. It looks like Tampa Bay lost, Boston's winning, but Texas is down in the 9th inning, and the Astros are losing as well by 1. So maybe a chance to get some stuff going today.
I sense fool's gold on that one, because with all those losing games, Mariners are favored to win today. Something just tells me that they're somehow going to lose these games. They seem to lose when everything is going their way, and then they win when it pretty much doesn't matter, because everyone else won anyway.
It's certainly been a trend with the Astros. How many times, even last year's, like, they would lose and we would lose. They would win, well, then we'd win. As we get ready for first pitch here, but this has been a house of horrors for the Mariners the last couple of years here too in Anaheim.
It really has. 2024, Joe Adell single-handedly buried the Mariners. And before we get started, Tokyo Joe, how's it going? You're one of my regulars here. As we are getting ready for that first pitch, will be brought to you by, as usual, SeatGeek. And now here is that first pitch by Tyler Anderson, and that's going to be in there for a strike. And we are underway here in Angel Stadium. JP Crawford has actually dipped in the second half. Batting average is now down to 274. Now here's the pitch. And that is going to be a foul ball, strike 2. JP Crawford is 3 for 15 against Tyler Anderson. Not exactly great. We definitely need the Mariners, definitely need him to really get it going. And now we are at the 0-2. And now here's the 0-2 pitch. And now here's a ground ball, foul again. And he is fighting off the best he possibly can. Tyler Anderson this season against left-handers, the opponent batting average is 312. So this actually could be a favorable matchup for him, for JP Crawford. Now it makes me wonder.
For lefties.
Pretty much. And now the pitch inside, and that nearly hit him, and that is going to be 1-2. And while we're waiting for the next pitch, we got J.P. Crawford lead off, Julio Rodriguez, Cal Raleigh, Randy Arozarena, Josh Naylor, Jorge Polanco, Mitch Garver as the catcher, Dom Canzone, and Ben Williamson. Looks like a little bit surprised Dylan Moore's not playing considering the platooning strategy. And now the 1-2 pitch. And that is a ball. And I'm only surprised just because Dan Wilson and Jerry Dipoto are very matchup happy. I guess they maybe they're trying to shop him or something.
And maybe too with Anderson being worse versus lefties, they saw that maybe they're going a little bit with that as well. So that would be a good sign. It's encouraging. It's not like Dylan Moore and Solano are doing a whole heck of a lot either. So I'd rather see Dom get the at bats, honestly, and Naylor, of course.
3-2 pitch to JP. And that's going to be a foul ball. He had to swing at that one. And that's still going to be strike 2. 3-2, the full count. And I remember yesterday we were texting each other about the move that they made because they brought in Josh Naylor. They had to send down Miles Mastrobuoni. And maybe everyone's like, well, what about Dylan Moore? And it seems that Dylan Moore just might be out of options at this point because Mastrobuoni signed a minor league contract initially. The pitch, and that's going to be popped up into center field. Joe Adell, the Mariner killer, is there, and he makes the catch, and that's going to be 1 out.
Yeah, and I think after I would say All-Star break, after the trade deadline, I think we'll see more of the roster come to fruition. I think right now it's just, hey, Mastrobuoni has options, send him down. I think after the trade deadline, we'll really see what they want to do, and I wouldn't be shocked if Moore and Solano aren't on the roster anymore. We'll see, though.
And I think it heavily is contingent on what else they do at the trade deadline. Like,
exactly.
Everyone is screaming for the Mariners to get Suarez, and now here's the pitch, and that is up high for a ball. And
no tracer, it's tough to tell.
Yeah, it really does make it hard to tell. Julio Rodriguez is absolute beast in Anaheim, and now the pitch, and that is a strike. Julio Rodriguez has hit 3 home runs, and career that Brett Boone was actually a top 5 hitter in Anaheim Stadium, believe it or not, and that's going to be a foul ball. Mike Trout's actually 10th. Who would have thought? As we're at 1-2, maybe Julio likes
the Mariners to play here more. But the problem is Julio hits well here, but the team doesn't win. So
yeah, they don't win anything. And now the 1-2 pitch by Anderson, and that is inside for a ball. And where is that tracer? We need that. It's more fun that way.
Yeah, I can't complain.
Yeah, Root Sports is absolutely kind of off their game, like as usual. And now we're at 2-2. And now here is the pitch, and that is up high for ball 3. And as we are hoping that Eugenio Suarez does come back to Seattle. I remember I just happened to sneak on to Raise the Trident, home of Jake. And now here's the 3-2. And now here's a liner and fouled. There was one fan, and I agreed with his point, where he said, the worst part of getting Suarez is that the Diamondbacks gave up nothing, but we have to give up like maybe 2 of our top 100 prospects. And then Jake just said, the only people that should care about that and be concerned are the front office. We are just the fans. The 3-2. Yeah. Now here is a line drive to left center field, and that is going to drop in for a base hit. And Julio Rodriguez will get to first. He thought about going to second base, but let's play a little bit of smart baseball. So
that's one of those things that, like, it's frustrating, yes, but also, like, let's say the Mariners had traded away Aaron Judge for a bag of peanuts 5 years ago, and they had a chance to get Judge tomorrow for a bunch of prospects. You'd still take it because it's Aaron Judge. It's a great player. It's frustrating how you got there, and there's blame to be put on the front office, but you still want the good player back on the team. So, but yeah, it's definitely kind of like, come on, guys, but also
it's like, what can we really do? And I'm
right, exactly.
And I'm on both sides of the fence anyway. Like, yeah, I hate how it happened, but it's like, at the state that we're in, we don't really have a choice, especially if we want to make that run for the playoffs. And now here is the pitch to Cal Raleigh, and that is strike 2. And Cal Raleigh is also brutal, 2 of 13 against Tyler Anderson. And Cal Raleigh has actually taken a dip in second half as well, which I saw it was coming. Like, the last player who had this kind of a run was Ken Griffey Jr., and even he had his struggles. And now here's a fly ball to left field, and that is actually going to drop in for a base hit. Line drive. Now we got runners on first and second with still just 1 out. And now we've got Randy Arozarena, who unfortunately he actually could end this inning real quick with one swing of the bat because it feels like he does hit into those double plays. If it was Ty France, it'd be like, yep, we're screwed.
Oh yeah, I would just hope that pop up and let's get the next guy up there.
At least move Julio Rodriguez to third base. Here's Randy. He is at 19 home runs this season. He's actually been on fire in July. I guess him and Julio likes to hit better in July, I guess. Now the pitch. And that is a strike. And going back to Julio, maybe he likes a state and a city with beach vibes. Maybe that's why he does so well. Maybe that nice, beautiful sun, and then maybe a drive-by to the beach is like, maybe he feels relaxed. Now the 0-1. Now here's a liner, and that is fouled.
And Julio had third stolen there. That would have been nice there. A's go up 5-1 on Houston, so that's probably in the books for the A's winning that.
Yeah, but we all know what the fate will be when everything is going in the Mariners' favor, including the betting odds. Mariners just may drop this one. I just have that sense. I hate saying
I just have no faith in Anaheim. It's been a house of horrors. I mean, they should probably win the next two, but
now throw back to second.
Not
in time. I don't know. You would think, especially with the state of Anaheim, as it doesn't look like they're exactly going to. I don't know if they're going to buy at the trade deadline. I mean, it's not like they're like a completely disastrous team, but it's still a team that you feel that the Mariners should handle them.
Yeah. At least eventually. Like, I mean, it's, you'd think they could get a series. Funny, they do have a winning record against the
0-2 pitch
this year.
And that is a foul ball. And like last year when they just completely laid an egg.
Last year was worse because at least this Angels team won. The Mariners are actually, let's see, at 2-0. 3-2. They're actually 4-3 against the Angels this year. And the Angels aren't bad. Last year, the Angels were awful, and the Mariners could just not get a win in Anaheim. So last year was way more frustrating.
Randy Arozarena reaches it and fouls off, and that's still going to be 0-2. I see some Mariner fans there. They are actually well representing. I mean, I just saw actually two fans, so maybe that's an indication that Mariner fans like to go to Anaheim for whatever reason. I mean, there's Disneyland, so that will sell it.
True.
As we're at 0-2 for Randy Arozarena. Now here's the pitch. Now here's a fly ball to left field. If that is going to be fair, and that is fouled.
Oh, it's happened a couple times this series.
Now I'm really curious what the statistic is when the Mariners hit like a foul ball home run. Like, what's their batting average then? It must not be a good one. As we're at 0-2. Aaron Goldsmith and Angie Mentic on the booth. In the 0-2, and he reaches it for a pop-up to center field, and that's not going to move Julio anywhere. Joe Adell is there, and he makes the catch, and that's going to be 2 outs. And now it's going to be up to Josh Naylor to see what he can do. Josh Naylor, who was recently acquired from the Arizona Diamondbacks, and people like me was like, well, where's Suarez? Why isn't he in the deal? And
Suarez is going to take a little bit longer, just more suitors.
More suitors and lots of negotiations going on. At least the Yankees are out of it because they just traded for McMahon, if that's his name.
Yeah.
1 for 4 is Josh Naylor from last night's Mariners debut, and we need a big hit from him. And ironically, now the throw to second, and that is not in time. Ironically, one of the last times the Mariners dealt with Josh Naylor, he hit that walk-off home run, and I actually was calling that game as well, and that was the same game.
I was there.
Where Dom Cans, maybe we had something to do with this trade.
Be funny if the Mariners missed the playoffs by one game, and Naylor's home run is like the one.
And what if Naylor was up in like the bottom of the ninth, and he also struck out? So Josh Naylor would have technically cost the Mariners 2 games.
Be very, very Mariners here. I guess one good thing here is Anderson's closing in on 30 pitches. I mean, that's one slight positive if they don't score.
That is true. As we're at 0-1 for Naylor, and it's 2 outs. He was only 1 for 4 in his debut last night. His pitch number 26 is coming. Now here's the pitch, and a swing and a miss, strike 2. We're at 0-2. Josh Naylor's really got to get something going. We really want to get this Mariners offense to really get some runs early. and especially against Anaheim, because for some reason, no matter what kind of a lead the Mariners have, Anaheim seems to figure it out.
Yeah, it hasn't mattered here. It's just, score 8 runs, they score 9.
0-2
Wells
pitch.
give up 1, we score 0.
And that's a foul ball. He was swinging it in the dirt, and it's kind of like, why? As we're at 0-2.
Texas ties it up. That's not good news for the Mariners.
Nope. And knowing Texas's resources, they expect them to be buyers at the trade deadline as well, especially if they have the ability to produce a good farm system, just like the Mariners. As we're at 0-2, the pitch. And now here's a fly ball, more like a pop-up to center field. And Joe Adell seems to own all three of those Mariners outs, and that's going to retire the side. And we go into the bottom of the first. Mariners leave 2 men stranded as we go into commercial break. And while we go into commercial break, what do you think is the price tag on Eugenio Suarez? Like, what do you think the Mariners will have to give up to get it done?
I'm not great with prospect stuff. It's going to be more expensive than some people think, but also less. He's a free agent at the end of the year, so I don't think that he's going to cost like your top guys, but I do think you're going to need to send like one fairly decent prospect in there, like a Ty Pete, Michael Morales, and then maybe, or Changchia and someone else. Like, I think it'll cost you something, but I don't think it's going to be some like, oh my gosh, haul, because he is a free agent in 58 games and he's older. So, I mean, there is going to be some reluctancy. I think it's just been tough because I think Arizona very much wants a haul right now, and that's why you haven't seen a move yet, and they're going to hold out till the very end there. But I think they'll settle something middle road. It's not going to quite be the haul that people think it's going to be on Arizona's side, but it's also not going to be, Garcia and Ashton Izzy either at that level. So but again, I'm not the best at knowing like which prospects fall in those categories.
It's really tough to predict, but I'm going to predict that they're going to ask for at least like a Harry Ford, and somewhere in the middle, like you said, like a Durangelo Sancho or like Ty Pete.
Yeah.
So like, but who knows? But the thing is, I'm all for it because, like, one, these prospects are no guarantees. None of them are a guarantee. And two, in case the Mariners feel like they're missing out on prospects in the future, they can, or in case they feel like they gave up too many prospects, they can always make up for it years later, as if they've already had their draft and they always sign international free agents real quickly.
Yeah, it's always looking for what that line is, right? Like, you certainly, if they're like, hey, we want Laz, Ty Pete, Colt Emerson, and Changchia, like, no, you're not getting that for Gino Suarez. Sorry. But, it's also kind of like, hey, we're willing to go for it and make this move and think it puts us over the top. So it's always tough to, I think, find that line of where you're willing to go, because you want to be all in. And you're right. Like, no prospect is guaranteed to succeed, but it's also like, man, it's a half season, not even. So it's like, what are you willing to go with?
But there is one problem, according to Josh, why it might be a big haul, because every playoff team will be gunning for him. So that's another point that he is making.
Yeah,
as we're at 0-1 for Zach Neto, and a swing and a miss at the dirt. Because if you are the Dodgers, the Brewers, the Red Sox, the Blue Jays, the Yankees, could all use a guy that hit that many home runs, and that is Gino Suarez. But I think Mariners need him more than anything, as we are at 0-2 for Zach Neto. And now here is the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
To Josh's point too, McMahon's already off the board, so it's not like there's as many fallback options for teams either. So that could drive up the price as well, for sure, because now there's no McMahon. You're left with, Willie Castro, Ahmed Rosario, guys like that, which are, decent additions, but not, potentially the power that Gino brings to the table. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
Now here's the career Mariner killer in Mike Trout. 18 home runs, batting .236, the pitch, and that is a strike. And this is the most healthy that we've seen from Mike Trout in many, many years. I think the last time he actually had a healthy season, I believe, was 2020, and that was just the COVID season.
One of the reasons they're hanging around a little bit, they've actually been, more fortunate this year with the injuries than in the past.
We're at 0-1, and then the pitch. It also helps that they put him in right field, as there's less impact. As if center field, you have to cover so much ground, and that's a 1-1 count, by the way. He's actually a 4-for-9 hitter against George Kirby, so he does hit against him really well. The pitch, That is up high for a ball. Mike Trout's last healthy full season was pretty much 2016. After that, he's been averaging like somewhere in the low 100s of how many games he's been playing. And now the 2-1. And that is inside for a ball. Seems like Kirby is trying to just pitch away from Mike Trout. He must know those numbers very well. 2022 was the last time he played 100 games. It was 119. He hit 40 home runs and 80 RBIs. He was actually having an unprecedented kind of season. In the 3-1. That's going to be a foul ball. That was
That's
when
funny.
like
I
him
don't remember
and
that at
Ohtani.
all.
It was like when it was like him and Ohtani were having such career seasons at the time. And that was also the last time Ohtani had a healthy hitting and pitching season, 2022.
Yeah, it's crazy. And the Angels were not in contention that year. It's just wild. You know what I mean? And I don't remember what their record was in 22, but man, like to get those seasons from those guys.
Oh, check swing, and he goes down. That is going to be strike 3, and we've got 2 outs. The record for the 2022 Angels was 73-89. It was started with Joe Madden, who actually kept the team afloat, 27-29. Then he got fired.
That's right. Phil Nevin, that big losing streak.
And that big losing streak was also in the middle of that Mariners huge riot with Jesse Winker, and that arguably sparked that 14-game winning streak. Now here's Nolan Shanuel, and that is a strike. One of the toughest hitters to strike out in Major League Baseball. And while we're waiting for next pitch, as we're at 0-1, and now here is the pitch, and low for a ball. For the Immaculate Grid, we've got, let's choose 846 and 845. Since you are still ahead of me in subscriber count, I'd actually review them and take a look. The pitch. Now here's a fly ball to right field, and this could be trouble. And actually, no, that's going to be caught by Dom Canzone. He was able to cover so much range on that, and that's going to retire the side, and you got to choose.
845.
845, and let's do this. All right, let's go.
Cardinals, Phillies. Oh, man. Scott Rowland.
That's an obvious one, but maybe it's too obvious for you.
Probably.
35%. Yeah.
Angels, Phillies, Mickey Moniak.
Mickey Moniak. Wow. Yeah, there you go. Ooh, 10%.
Because he's too recent. Marlins, Phillies. Jesus Luzardo. That's going to be another obvious one, but just trying to get them all.
You're getting killed on this one.
Cardinals, Padres, Jim Edmonds.
He had a really beautiful swing. Almost as beautiful as Ken Griffey Jr. That's a good one.
They're not bad. Angels, Padres. Well, why is that one blanking me? Angels, Padres. Played second base minimum 1 game. Cardinals, Rafael Furcal.
I guess not.
Oh, wow. Gosh.
You say Cardinals or Angels?
I said Cardinals. So Angels, give me David Fletcher.
That'll do it.
Okay. Marlins, second base 1 game. I don't know. Dan Uggla.
Hey.
Marlins and Padres. I know there's like a ton. They just do some trades together. Cardinals, second base. Wow. Why can't I think of anybody? Why am I blanking on Cardinals second baseman? Oh my gosh. Scott Spezio. I don't know.
I doubt it, but I guess we'll see.
I don't think he ever played.
Oh, that actually helped you.
Okay. And then Marlins, Padres. Oh my gosh. Why am I blanking on anybody for that? I don't know. David Eckstein. Oh, Angels, Padres, David Eckstein. Sorry, Angels, Padres.
As we are back from the break, and here is Polanco. And now here's the pitch. And now here's a fly ball, and that is foul. Is that playable? And that is foul ball. David Eckstein. The man who sprints on walks. That's actually not bad. 182.
No, it's not great, but not terrible by any means.
No, I think that could be a tough one for me.
Yep.
846 will be next for me as here we are. And
Luis Arraez. Good call by Josh.
I was going for Padres and Marlins. I would have said Gary Sheffield.
Oh man, I always forget him on the Padres.
Yeah, that one season.
Yeah.
And now here's the 1-1. And that is a strike. And funny enough, Sheffield was actually unhappy when he got traded from San Diego. I guess but here's the thing. He got traded from a beach to a beach. So it's like, what's the difference?
I will say I'd probably prefer San Diego, but that's about as good as it gets for like.
That's what you call a first world problems disease. Now the pitch.
That's right.
And that is a foul ball. And from what I heard, when I watched that show Beyond the Glory about Gary Sheffield, I think it said that he was pretty much a party boy. I guess he liked the party lifestyle in San Diego than he did in Miami.
I could see that.
As we're at 1-2. And now here's the 1-2 pitch. Now here's a ground ball foul, and Polanco is actually staying alive. And now I want to look at what mine is. Yeah. I guess we'll see. Mine's just very broad.
That can be good and bad.
Could be. As we're at 1-2, and now here is the pitch. Up high for a ball, 2-2. He's batting .252. Surprisingly, Polanco has actually, I guess, not been batting below .250. So he's been doing that. The pitch, and that is going to be popped up into foul territory, and that is going to be well out of play. Now I want to look at Jorge Polanco splits.
He's been worth the signing. He's been fine. He's done a nice job for them. Be nice if he could play third somewhat, because that would help, but he's been fine.
He's not, but knowing his injury history, I mean, it was like a long shot for it to work out. We knew it was going to be a long shot. As we're at 2-2. And now here is the pitch. And that is up high for a ball. In the month of July, he's actually been okay. He's batting .266 with a .338 on base percentage. Could not be any worse than May and June. May and June, he was batting .139 and .222. And the 3-2. And that's going to be a foul ball, still fighting it off. And they're really making Tyler Anderson work. And maybe this can get into the bullpen, and maybe the Angels will be gassed by Sunday. So this could be helpful. Mitch Garver is on deck as we are at 3-2. And now the pitch. And now here's a fly ball to right field. And here is a play going to be, he makes the catch. And that is going to be 1 out. Polanco did what he could, but he just came up short once again.
Some okay at bats, but eventually we gotta score with it too.
As we got Mitch Garver up to the plate, he's batting .229, and some would say it's like you couldn't do any worse than what you did last year, because last year was an absolute train wreck of a season for Mitch Garver. And now here is the pitch, and that is a strike. Mitch Garver last season batted .172 with 15 home runs. In 114 games. But this season, and now the pitch, that's going to be a foul ball. A .229. I guess we'll take it for a backup catcher.
Yeah. Yeah, considering he hasn't been the primary DH, I'd say he's been fine.
At least enough to deal with. I mean, better than Sebi Zavala.
Amen.
And now here's the 0-2. And now here's a ground ball. And actually, that gets right through for a base hit. Nobody was even in position to field that, as Mitch Garver gets himself with an easy single right there.
Right on.
And now we've got Dom Canzone. And Dom Canzone, don't let that 292 fool you. He's actually been struggling in the second half. But he's got an opportunity to get it going. So I guess we'll see. Dom Canzone is another rumored possible trade candidate as a package deal, maybe to get somebody. Would kind of be funny if he was part of the Suarez trade. Be ironic in the pitch, low for a ball, considering that he was traded to Seattle for Paul Sewald in that package of Josh Rojas, Dom Canzone, and Ryan Bliss. And I remember how much I went on a huge tirade on that on that trade right before a Mariners game, and you were like, "Well, I like the trade," and I was like, "Well, I don't." The pitch, and that is low for a ball, and you were like, "I can't blame you, but I think this might work," and I was like, "No, it's not going to work. We just traded away one of our best relief pitchers." But at least, I guess all three of them. I mean, Rojas served his purpose last year. The pitch. And that was a strike. I guess he just wasn't worth the $4 million tender, I guess. As we're at 2-1. And now here's the pitch. And that is a strike. 2-2. Best way to describe Dom Canzone, he either has a really beautiful home run swing or he just has the ugliest looking strikeout swing. There's like absolutely no balance of him.
Right.
As we're at 2-2. And now here's the pitch. And that's going to be a ground ball, and that will get right to him. Now the throw to second, and that's going to be a double play, and that's going to retire the side. A very bizarre, weird double play, and that will retire the side. And now it's my turn to see if I can beat you in this game. All right, we got 6 WAR. I'm just going to say Ichiro, 11%. Nah.
Not bad.
All-Star 300. I'm kind of too lazy to go with that one. Only one team with a 300. Because I'm too lazy. Yeah, I was very, very lazy.
You got to get the
year. All right. Oh, I wasted that. Could have been Ichiro on this one. That would have been a little bit more obscure.
Right.
Okay, I'm blanking on everything.
Yeah, those are tough because I don't remember.
Yeah, they are. Maybe Derek Jeter from 1996. Oh yeah, but 15%. Yeah, that's gonna hurt.
Yeah, not bad.
It was a below Robbie Ray. Nope. Oh, because he never made All-Star. Man. Whitey Ford. Okay. Rookie of the Year, Julio Rodriguez. Oh,
yeah. There we go.
Rookie of the Year and All-Star. I'm going to say, no, I was going to say Aaron Judge, but no, he was not. I don't think he was qualified as a rookie. You just got to get him when you get him. Felix Hernandez. I think he's a little bit more obscure than.
Yeah.
Nope.
No, but he didn't have
that kind of career.
That's right.
I'm pretty sure Randy Johnson, not even. Yeah, I'm getting killed on this one. Okay, let's just do Felix Hernandez on this one. And it didn't. Nope. I got absolutely killed.
451. I got it.
That's going to hurt. And we are back from the break. And now we're in the bottom of the second inning. There is still no score. And now here's the pitch. And that's going to be a fly ball to center field. And Julio's actually still running at it. And that's actually going to be gone. That is a home run for the Angels. And the Mariners the Angels have just taken a 1-0 lead on a Taylor Ward home run. And now it's the Angels 1 and the Mariners nothing. And it felt like just by that angle, it was going to be like some kind of a routine fly ball. Yeah, and then Julio just looks up and go, oh, oopsie. And now it's a 1-0 lead. Just like as I feared that all the odds that the Mariners have for them and everything, all the scenarios of the other teams. Next thing, yeah, I think my predictions are starting to come true as of now. Now here's Joe Adell up to the plate. And they do have a lot of home run hitters, so don't get me wrong about that. Now the pitch.
Yeah.
Outside for a ball. I think I have Logan Ohape as one of my fantasy players for the Angels. He's been my catcher. Yep, he's on my starting lineup right now. The pitch. And now here's a fly ball, and that is fouled. I'm also losing this week in fantasy baseball to one of the worst teams in the league. That's what you call
the JBL headphones.
No, it's and JBL Headphones is losing, but no, it's called Joe's Scary Team, the pitch.
Mhm.
And that is a ball. And your team, you're neck and neck against Craig's team. As now we're at 2-1 for Joe Adell. And now here's the pitch. And a swing and a miss, strike 2. It's 1-0 Angels off of that home run by Taylor Ward. And now we're at 2-2 on Joe Adell. And now here is the 2-2 pitch. And that is going to be outside for a ball. And good news about this game so far, they got the strike zone back on there. So we can see that.
Yes.
They always just take their time on that. As we're at 3-2. And now here's the pitch. And that's going to be popped up and fouled. And speaking of the Angels, like I know there's a lot of people that criticize the Angels for not trading Shohei Ohtani at the trade deadline, but I didn't fault them for not making that trade because there was no way. Then here's the pitch, and that's going to be popped up and fouled again. Like there was no way that a team was going to commit to Shohei Ohtani as just a rental without the knowing that, without like a promise that he was going to re-sign with the team. So the Angels were just kind of stuck. They didn't want to lose Ohtani for nothing, but at the same time, they knew that no one was going to go for him. The 3-2.
I think they were offered Junior Caminero though. And who was Caminero from the Dodgers at the time? I think they were offered, but we don't know for sure, obviously. But I think they were offered.
No, I guess so. But Angels were like, no, we want the stinking Hall.
Well,
Josh also
dang good.
Josh also stated that they would have lost a lot of money on Ohtani leaving. Now here's a fly ball to left field, foul. That was a laser. Watch out. And the Angels are just an absolute train wreck, but at least this season they've actually shown that they can be a capable baseball team of the future. They got good young players in Joe Adell, Taylor Ward, if you consider him young, and Nolan Shanuel. And now the 3-2 pitch. And that is going to be ball 4, take your base. The umpire just wasn't willing to give it to him. And now we got a man on first base and still no outs. Kirby's not happy about that call. And now we got Moncada up to the plate. Hall of Fame weekend, Ichiro Suzuki on August 10th. They're giving away the plaque. Oh, great. Now they're going to try to sucker me in to get the plaque. That's a Sunday, the pitch. And that is low for a ball. As I do have the 2 other Hall of Fame plaques, so I feel like I have to get another one. Here's the Ken Griffey Jr.
Oh, that's cool.
And Edgar Martinez. And now we're at 1-0. And now here's the pitch. Low for a ball. And I did think about like going to the stadium and just boo John Stanton, but I'm kind of like, I don't even think I have the energy to even do that, considering that I have long work weeks and doing my YouTube. It's like, I don't know. The 2-0 and the pitch, and a swing and a miss. But all of my friends, if I were going to go for them, they all instructed me to go somewhere else and do it and not do it right in front of them.
Oh, there you go.
They're like, hey, if you're going to boo Stanton, just go on over there. I don't want to see you do it. It'll be embarrassing.
Right. I don't know. I think he'll get a lot of boos.
The 2-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Maybe he'll just get boos anyway.
I think he will.
Or maybe he just won't say anything. But you think he would.
Oh, he'll say something. The only way he might not get booed is just because Ichiro's there, so they may not do it. But other than that.
And a swing and a miss, and that's going to be strike 3. And Adell was actually not even going, so that's going to be a strikeout. And now we got my fantasy guy, Logan Ohape. The 2025 inductees, we've got Dick Allen. He was a 1972 MVP. Dave Parker, CC Sabathia, Ichiro Suzuki, and Billy Wagner. I wonder if Dick Allen and Dave Parker are still alive. Now the pitch. Now here's a line drive to right field. Here's Julio Rodriguez, and he makes the catch. An amazing catch by Julio. And that is going to be 2 outs. Oh, Dick Allen
That's a
died
great
in
catch.
2020.
Yeah, I think
Wow.
Allen and Parker both passed.
Now I can see why everything was like showing up for Dave Parker also. Now it makes sense why Pete Rose kept showing up on my feed so many times, because now MLB is just inducting all these dead legends, which seems to be I'll find that to be very controversial. Oh, Dave Parker just died, and I think they inducted, but it's like they still waited that long.
Yeah. I mean, you hate to say better late than never, but yeah, it's kind of like, man, we wish these guys could
Now
have
here's
had
a swing and a miss, throw to second, and that is not in time, as that the throw was wide by Cal Raleigh. And looks like not even Cal Raleigh, it was Mitch Garver, excuse me. Maybe if that was Cal Raleigh, that could have been out.
I think they got him.
They looks like they're going to challenge the call, aren't they?
I don't know, close.
It'll be right on the leg. Let's see if they got him. Let's see if there's enough evidence. It is very close, I must say that. It is very, very close. But yeah, it was actually under review. I don't think it's a challenge. Julio Rodriguez is now vibing with Joe Adell. I mean, that's the thing that Julio likes to do. He likes to vibe with the other opponent. And it looks like that might be out, because I saw JP Crawford going into the dugout.
Yeah, I think he's out, pretty sure.
Yeah, you see Mitch Garver walking into the dugout. It looks like they feel confident about it. Yep, call is overturned, and Joe Adell is out. And that is going to retire the side. Great throw, or maybe not so much of a great throw, but at least a good play to get him out.
Well, if you're gonna miss the throw, it wasn't a great throw like you said, but at least it was to the side where like JP can get the runner on the leg. You know what I'm saying, like kind of behind him. So if you're gonna miss the throw, that's the way to do it.
I guess so. And also, not only does this show include doing the Immaculate Grid, I also have some highlights from Tuesday's game where my team was actually down 20-6, and we closed it in to within 4 runs. We did come up short, but the fact that we were able to be resilient and get that close really says a lot. Now, here's the choice. I got 3 strikeouts, me fielding some groundouts, me goofing up on a pop fly, a straight bull up line out, or a diving catch I made.
I want to see the diving catch.
Here's the diving catch.
That's not easy on that dirt either, man. When shorts, that can I'm sure that's got a little burn there. That's a nice little play right there.
I actually didn't get burned. The sand was actually a bit soft, so that was nice. But of course, my clothes were very dirty after that.
Right. Great play. Nice little hustle there and pitch. Where was the infield supposed to get the pitcher and back you up on that? Never just standing there
doing it. Oh, the catcher
Yeah,
wanted me to do that. No, catcher. The thing is, no, this is my team. Like, I love the team. I love the players. Many of them are my friends.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, if you look at it in a baseball perspective, I do carry that team. And not only have I carried the team on the field, I've carried the team off the field by recruiting. Now, here's the pitch to Williamson. And that is a strike. At one point last year, the start of 2024 season, we actually forfeited our opening game because someone no-showed, and he was the guy that needed to show up to have the legal amount to play.
Yeah.
And then that's where I did my mass recruiting, and that's going to be an inside for a ball. I recruited like 2 of my best friends and one of my friend's sisters to play. And we actually made it all the way to second place at the very end. The pitch. Now here's a fly ball to right center field. And that actually, nope, Joe Adell's going to be there. And he makes the catch. And looks like the Marine layer it looks like it traveled to Anaheim as well. Most changeups thrown this season, Tyler Anderson is one of them, along with my fantasy guy, Tariq Skubal. And the tragic thing about Tariq Skubal, which, by the way, congratulations, he gets a baby. But the thing was, I got the notification saying, oh, yeah, Tariq Skubal is good to go. But by the time I got that notification, he was stuck in my IL and I couldn't get him in. And he was playing today. And I was like, ESPN, why? As we got JP Crawford and the pitch. Now here's a check swing. Oh, you bobbled job. Go to first in time. Yeah, that's very uninspiring. And now we got Julio Rodriguez, and we could use that Anaheim Stadium magic by him. And you would think with 2 outs, he's probably just going to go for it. But he doesn't really have to really go for the home run. He can just get a nice base hit and maybe let Cal Raleigh do the job. As we're at 1-1 on Julio. And now here's the pitch by the left-hander. And that is inside for a ball. That was kind of headed towards his direction. And that's going to be 1-0. As we're at 1-0. And the pitch. Outside for a ball. 2-0. Now a favorable count for Julio Rodriguez. MLB trade deadline is coming on Thursday. And now here's the 2-0 pitch. And that's a strike. I'm thinking about it, not sure yet. Really depends. Because I have a day off on Thursday, so I'm on the fence of like, do I want to do a show, sit on my butt, or stand on one spot for like 3 to 4 hours? Or do I just want to relax right before my doubleheader for softball?
Yeah.
So it's it's very debatable. Like, if Suarez is like already dealt, then I'm probably not going to do it. Now, if he's still in the picture of like not been traded, I might do it because that will make a good sound, like a good YouTube short. Right. Like, as we're at 3-1, and now here is the pitch. Now here's a fly ball to deep left center field that could be going, and that is gone. That is a home run for Julio Rodriguez. Mariners tie the game, and that is consecutive games by Julio Rodriguez with a home run. 3 straight games in Anaheim, and now it's a 1-1 tie, and the Mariners are back in business.
There we go. Julio showed up here. It's so like it's just fool's goal. Like, I mean, Julio dominates in this ballpark, but the Mariners can't get it down. Like, it's so frustrating.
It really is frustrating. I mean, we love Julio for what he's doing. The Trident, man. It's like, if you were leading like 5 runs, maybe. No, not even 5 runs. It has to be like 10 runs. I'll be like, okay, fine, you can do it. But they're doing it like when they're losing. They're doing it when it's too close. I kind of don't want to see them do that in the playoffs either.
Oh, it'll be there. Only time
they're in the playoffs,
like when they're down like 9-0 and they get one, then I'm like, dude, guys, come on. Like, it's
oh, Randy Arozarena, he's like this. Yeah, I hit a home run when we're down 6-0.
Yeah, it's like, guys. Like, I don't mind tied and even down 1 or something, but like when it's a blowout, it's like let's get into that dugout.
Let's just hurry up. And I've actually faced a lot of criticisms for my criticizing of the Trident. They're like, oh, let the players have fun. But I'm like, there's a time and place for everything, is there? Ooh, big swing and a miss, and that is going to be 2-2. And the funny thing is about the Julio home run, I kind of sort of predicted it. I was like, maybe Julio is going to try to hit that home run with 2 outs.
Yeah.
So maybe I did foresee something.
Yeah, you did. You said that before the at-bat. And it makes sense, too. 2 outs, like, you got pop, like even here, Cal, you could tell that 2-1 pitch was trying to hit it out.
2-2. And that is going to be low for a ball, 3-2. I mean, and with Cal Raleigh struggle, it's not uncommon. Like, we saw it in 97 and 98 with Ken Griffey Jr. Like, he actually went through a whole month without hitting a home run. It felt like the pitch. That is a foul ball. And that was the reason why he couldn't get to the Roger Maris record in 98. He was actually in the running with Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire. But unfortunately, that month of August just killed him. As we're at 3-2. And Griffey was actually branded as the chosen one to get to the Maris record. As we're at 3-2. And now here is the pitch. And that is strike 3 called, and that was right on the inside. And Cal Raleigh is not happy about it. He's just in shock. He's trying to have a little chatter with the umpire, but at least it was just the umpire just wasn't having it. He was like, "Yep, it's a strikeout. I called it. It's my call."
I don't I don't blame Cal there. Kirby gets squeezed on that 3-2 to Adele, but Tyler Anderson's getting a pitch in, like, that's where it bothers me. Like, I don't mind that 3-2 from Kirby to Adele being a ball. I don't necessarily mind that pitch being a strike, but like, why is Tyler Anderson getting a call and George Kirby's getting squeezed? So that drives me nuts. Like, you got to overcome it. It's part of the game. It's not going to be the reason they lose or win, but it's just like, man, come on behind the plate. Like,
yeah, it's like, what is going on? And no, we're not going to be the ones to blame the umpire, just like in my softball league. Oh, by the way, I got that umpire again, the one with the very small strike zone. But no, I didn't blame him for losing the game. But you know what? Maybe I do like these kind of calls sometimes because it gets us extreme reactions. It makes it funny, at least, how we react to it. But I know deep down it is frustrating, and it's the reason why the ABS is only a matter of time. Like, we saw it in spring training.
Yeah.
Gotta love Julio. Who doesn't?
Sometimes he can be frustrating sometimes, but right now I'm loving Julio.
No, but I think you're adding something to the umpire.
Oh, yeah. And listen, like, the one thing I do like about the ABS is how quick it is. It's certainly not something I'd want to take 5 minutes. Or there are some calls where I'm like, okay, like the thing barely touched. Like, it's like, come on, but then there's ones that are clear as day where it's like, no, we got to get this situated. It's even like bang, bang plays at the plate sometimes, or, at first I'm like, some of them it's like, okay, but others it's clear.
And now all right. So we've got 3 strikeouts, me fielding a grounder, a failed pop out, a line out. Oh, wait, no, we're back from the break, but then just choose anyway. Those are your options. As we've got Rengifo up to the plate. Now the pitch, and that's going to be a foul ball. He's batting .241. I also got to upload another clip. It's actually a clip of my 2 best friends giving me run support from Tuesday.
Hey. There you go. The buddy's helping out, bringing you in.
Now here's a ground ball diving stop by Ben Williamson. Now the throw to first in time. And it's crazy to think that if that was in April around opening weekend, that goes right through Polanco.
Yeah, easily.
And Reesby said it correctly. Take advantage of this schedule. The Mariners have a very, very favorable schedule for the rest of the month. And this is the time to really capitalize and really not only gain ground, but also make your second to third wild card spot unreachable for the other teams. The pitch, that is up high for a ball to Lamont Wade Jr. Oh, yeah. So what do you want? 3 strikeouts, the ground outs, my failed pop out. No, the failed pop out attempt, a line drive out, or the run support.
Let's see the line drive out. Let's see a little exit velo from you.
Oh yeah, that one. Let's just say people were my teammates were cheering, and then you get the idea. And we've seen it with the Mariners too. The 1-1.
Oh yeah,
high for a ball, 2-1. As we're at Wade Jr. is batting .171. Kirby with 34 pitches. He's actually pitching very efficiently, considering the home run he gave up. And now the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2 to Lamont Wade Jr. We're at 2-2. He's batting .171. 35 pitches for Kirby. Now 36 the pitch, and that is inside for a ball. And you saw Mitch Garver trying to frame that for him, and unfortunately that was a little bit too obvious of a framing. As we're at 3-2. And now here is the pitch. And a swing and a miss, strike 3. And that is going to be 2 outs for the Angels right there. And how many strikeouts is that for George Kirby? That is strikeout number 4. Zach Neto is going to be up to the plate, the leadoff hitter. And my team is still losing in fantasy. I am 2 home runs away. Maybe if Gino Suarez can get me some stuff.
No, he's already done for the day. Lost 2-0, so I'm assuming he didn't give you much.
1 for 4, no RBIs.
Anybody on Do you have anybody on Baltimore? They won 18-0 over Colorado.
Nope. I got Logan Ohape, Spencer Torkelson,
He was robbed.
who went 0 for 4. Bryce
Torkelson was
Terron
robbed of a double. I was watching that game, and the left fielder made a diving catch to rob him of a double. Not that I don't know how much that would have helped, but still.
Exactly what I needed. Popped up, and Mitch Garver, is he going to make the catch? Nope, he will not. George Springer gave me a home run, and CJ Abrams gave me 3 RBIs, but it looks like all of my hitters are pretty much done. Actually, the only hitter I got left is Logan Ohape.
And Julio's out there robbing him.
Yeah, he did. And now we're at the 1-1, and now the pitch. Up high for a ball, and that is going to be 2-1. Bottom third, we've got 2 outs, and a 2-1 pitch. Inside for a ball, 2-2. We're at 3-1. "41 pitches for Kirby. It's been a little bit of a busy inning for him this one. Now the pitch. Inside for a ball 4. Well, now that we've got this inning still going on, I'm just going to also say that on Friday last night, I was actually invited to another softball team, and I was just using it. At first, I was just using it as an excuse to I could use some more practice for my church team playing a tougher league. And it turns out, because I pitched so well in those 2 games, winning 2 in a row, securing the 2nd seed for that team, it turns out, as we got Mike Trout to the plate, the pitch, and that is a strike. I was actually invited to compete in the playoffs with them for next Friday for semifinals and hopefully the championship. So there is a chance for me to finally get the monkey off my back of being a 2nd placer. As we're at 0-1 for Trout, and now the pitch. Inside for a ball, 1-1. And that was a really close one, too. But the ABS wouldn't have saved them.
Nope. Need ABS at the softball league. Have you ever had one where you've been like, ooh, that was there. That was there.
Maybe with that umpire that I had on Tuesday. Now to throw to first in time. And I'm sure, but the thing is, I don't think the church necessarily has that kind of money to pay for all that ABS and cameras. I don't think they have that kind of budget. And now the 1-1. And now the runner goes, and that's going to be a strike, and the throw to second. Yeah, not even close.
Did he come off? No, I thought maybe he came off the bag, but nope.
Yeah, why not? Go ahead and play. You should play. Softball's a lot of fun. I want to
join one too.
Yeah, join one, and then maybe if I visit over the summer, you could use me as a sub. I can always be pitcher. I mean, what position would you play?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm left-handed, so it'd have to be outfield or first base. I mean, I'm sure in softball it's not like there's times where it's like, hey, play wherever, but that would generally be where I'd play.
1 and 2.
Usually outfield.
Outside for a ball, 2-2 for Mike Trout. As we are at 2-2. I mean, doesn't your church have something?
I don't know, actually. I don't think so. Yeah, because it's more of an older community, so I don't think they do.
2-2. That's going to be up high, 3-2. No, I cannot steal because how can you steal in softball? That's just I don't know. Unless we're playing softball and it's like the girl underhand throwing pitch, maybe. As we're at 3-2. And now the pitch. And that's going to be ball 4, take your base. And now we've got runners on first and second. Yes, there's 2 outs. And now I think it's going to be it's Nolan Shanuel. And he is not an easy guy to get out. He's a very well-disciplined hitter. And funny enough, he was actually called up to the major leagues on the same season that he was actually drafted. And he was a first-round pick in the 2023 season because the Angels were like, dang, Ohtani is hurt. Trout is hurt. We have no hope. Let's get a rookie. Maybe that'll get some butts in the
Right.
seats. And now Pete Woodworth is having a little chatter with George Kirby, and it does feel like that George Kirby has been walking batters more
Yeah.
than usual.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was just going to actually say that. I mean, some tough pitches there, some close ones, but I mean, I will say like, hey, sometimes we've criticized him being almost a little bit too in the zone sometimes, but you also don't want to rack up crazy pitch counts either. Now you're in a jam here with a good hitter.
Last season, he had 179 strikeouts to 23 walks, and already he's on 13 walks.
Still not a lot, but definitely does feel like he's walked more.
I mean, he has walked more than games started.
Yeah, that's rare.
In the pitch. And that is a strike. Last season, he only walked 23 batters in 33 starts and 19 batters in 31 starts. And even in his rookie year, well, he still walked less than he started in 22 in the pitch. And that is low for a ball. Like George Kirby does have a very efficient pitching, but sometimes it does bite him. Like sometimes his refusal to walk actually leads to a home run sometimes.
Yeah, so exactly. So I won't get on him too much, but definitely want to get out of this.
We're at 1-1 for Shanuel. Oh, and nothing happened. And that is, he actually took his foot off the bag. Hits leaders this season is Nolan Shanuel, 103. He could be one of the franchise players of the future. Or is it
Neto, they've got some pretty good. Yeah, I think you said it right. Him, Neto, they've got a decent core here. They've got to find some pitching. Kikuchi's been solid. Soriano's pretty good, but after that, it's been a lot of struggles. So if they can find that they'll be in the race.
Tokyo Joe, I play co-ed as well. I've played in a men's league like for one day, and I was like, no, this is just not for me. Everyone's just too intense, and I'm an intense guy, but not at that level.
Yeah,
it's just too much. As we're at 1-2. And now here's the pitch. And now here's a ground ball right to the first baseman. Naylor toss over to Kirby, and that is in time. And that's going to retire the side. And let's just get right to it. Here was that line out that I hit.
There you go. Nice.
That's not a bad catch. That's a sinking line drive. That was hit well. That was tag. That's got to be frustrating.
The guy was literally right there. I think he took maybe 2 steps.
It just happened to be right to him. But yeah, going back to Tokyo Joe's point about, and your point about the competitiveness. So it's funny. Me and a couple buddies were coaching one of my son's football teams once, and we were talking about like, oh, there's a league that you can get into. I was like, oh, it'll be fun to play some football again from the high school days. We went to like one of their practices. Dude, this wasn't just like a fun league. This was like guys that tried out for the NFL. You know what I mean? And like we're, never made it, but we're like on the cusp. I'm like, oh, heck no, there's no way I would die in like one play. So I'm like, nope, I'm out, not doing this. I'll play, we'll catch in the backyard.
Yeah. Yeah, let's not do that.
Yeah, that was a solid hit. That was struck well.
Yeah, since that was so short, let's do one more. We've got 18 strikeouts, ground outs, the failed pop out or failed pop up. My friend's giving run support. But actually, those are the 4 options left.
A little run support. We need a little run support.
Yeah. Drop it. Oh! In the gap. Let's go. Oh, yeah. Let's go. Go 3, Mark. Go 3. Stay second, Greg. Bring it home. Don't touch home. Woo! Yes. Let's go. All right. What is that? Go 3, Mark. Go 3. Go 3. Stay 3. Good contact. Oh, yeah, let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Nice.
Yeah, that will do it. And the guy that's lefty, he also plays on the Special Olympics softball team, and he plays in that basketball team. Now here's a ground ball foul.
Nice.
And yet he's
Good piece
actually
of hit there.
and yet he's arguably the second best, most consistent hitter on our team. And he's a Special Olympics athlete.
That's awesome.
Going up against people above his level. And the 1-1.
Run support. Nice to see. Nice to see helping the pitcher out, easing you on the mound a little bit.
It's nice to have a good lefty on the team.
Yes.
As we're at 2-1. And now here is the pitch. And that is going to be strike 2. Randy Arozarena is just watching it. And we've seen it. Randy Arozarena likes to watch the down in the middle pitches, and then he'll swing one at the dirt. That's Randy Arozarena. As we're at 2-2, Naylor is on deck. And now here is the pitch. And now here's a fly ball to center field. And Joe Adell is running and still running. And actually, that's gone. And that was caught by the Mariners fan. And that is going to be a home run for Randy Arozarena, his 20th home run of the season. And the Mariners take a 2-1 lead. And I think we all thought that was going to be like some kind of a routine play. That's the second time we thought it was routine, but it's a home run.
I did too. I don't know if maybe not having sound is throwing us off, but I kind of thought maybe, warning track, but I didn't think that was getting out. It was out by a good margin, and the Mariners fan making a nice little grab there, nice little snag.
Yeah, good I'm sure he's got some few moments of fame right there.
Right.
It looks like Randy Arozarena was confident that it was going to be gone, or maybe he thought it was going to be a pop out, and he gets a huge amount of ovation from other Mariners fans. And there's a lot of Mariner fans there. Now here's Josh Naylor. And that is a strike. It's nice to see that Julio Rodriguez and Cal Raleigh does have more protection now that you have Randy Arozarena heating up and you have Josh Naylor, assuming that he does well. And that pitch.
Agreed.
Oh, swing and a miss at the dirt, and that's going to be strike 2. Randy Arozarena. Yeah, a little bit better. At least he made Tyler Anderson work for that out. As we're at 0-2, Tyler Anderson already on 70 pitches. We're at 0-2 for Josh Naylor. And the pitch. Now here's a liner to right field, and that is going to be a base hit, and that's going to be a nice little single for Josh Naylor's second hit as a Seattle Mariner. And now we got Jorge Polanco up to the plate.
See if we can get a big inning here.
Definitely need one badly.
Yes.
And also for my Mariners live streaming, I'm actually at 44, assuming we get through the 5th inning, which unless there's like some huge storm or something or a power outage, I'm going to be at 44. Magic number is 17 to beat 2024.
There we go.
Number 100 is actually unlikely at this point. I did the projections, and it's just not there. The pitch. Now here's a foul back. And even if I did every single game from this day forth, I still won't get it.
Yeah, what would you be at if you did every single one?
From this day forth, assuming I skip every single softball game, I'm basically an attendance delinquent at work, as we're at 0-1 for Polanco. Now the pitch. And now that's going to be a ball throw to second, not in time. And Josh Naylor actually went for the stolen base.
That's something that Naylor has, like 11 stolen bases on the year. You wouldn't think of it looking at him, but like he's like Cal, like he will sneak one in there occasionally. So just another part of his game that, is that foot stay? I don't know. I don't know if that foot stayed on.
Oh, we'll find out.
Challenge. Please don't challenge. I thought that foot
that could be a challenge. Yeah, that's why they're doing the replay constantly. Oh, just barely. No, they won't challenge it. So if I did every game from this day forth, this basically means I quit my job and everything.
Gotcha.
And the pitch. And now here's a fly ball to right field. That's not going to get anything done. Making the catch and Josh Naylor sting. I would finish at 101. And that's if I did
every single game. So I still think you should count postseason. If they get in, I still think you should count it because that is still the season. I mean, I get it, but it's still part of it.
I guess we're at, as of now, based on careful calculations, maybe it says 88, but this is also like, I don't know. And the throw to second, and they're trying to keep Naylor in check. But as of now, my pace is at 88, which I would still not complain about that.
No, not at all. That's over half.
As we're Mitch Garver up to the plate, batting 234. Now the pitch, and that looks like a miss, and that is strike one. And they got him on the weird camera angle too.
I know. I was like, thanks, Rude. I have no idea what happened, but
I guess now we know why it's $20 a month. As we're at 0-1 for Mitch Garver. Can he do any more for the team? And now the pitch. And that is going to be low for a ball. And actually, I have a bold prediction. I think the Mariners, what's going to happen is, I think they're going to decline his option, because why would they pay him $12 million at that point? No one's going to get him. He has a mutual option. And the pitch, low for a ball. I think it's a team option, but I'll check.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I was just curious.
No, you should be curious. It's including a mutual option.
Okay.
So it must be a team option right there. As we're at 2-1. He's working on a pretty good count. Yeah, it's mutual. It's 12 million due. The pitch. Now here's a ground ball, and that is actually going to be fielded by the shortstop Neto. The throw to first in time, and any other batter or runner.
Yeah, I was just going to say, anybody.
Out.
Yeah, if that's Dylan Moore or Julio or Randy, that's an infield hit, but not nice play by Neto. But I think I'm going to agree with what you're going to say here. Go ahead. I think I know where you're going with this.
No one's going to go for him. He may not have much value, and then the Mariners will pick him up for cheap as a backup catcher, which I actually, assuming that the age doesn't get to him, I actually would not be opposed.
I wouldn't either. He's been decent behind the plate. He's hit okay. Like, he's been fine. Like I said, like full-time DH, no, but backup catcher and occasional DH. I don't think like a 1 year, $3 million deal would be the worst thing ever.
No, I would not be opposed. Just like Polanco got his 1 year, 7.5. And now here's the 0-1 to Canzone. And that is a strike. And that was actually outside the strike zone. Canzone seems to be in disbelief. And that's the reason why we're going to get an ABS system real soon. As we're at 0-2. And now here's the 0-2 pitch. Now here's a ground ball and foul. The only hesitation I really have with ABS. Well, actually, no, I do have my reservations of ABS is it dehumanizes the game, in my opinion. And it takes away potential framing strategies and pitching approaching strategies.
There is definitely, I do think that's going to be interesting. How it affects the framing and the value of catchers. I do think there's some calls that get a little bit.
Now here's a fly ball and foul. Well, no, it's going to be popped out and making the catch, but the Mariners get that score. And I did cut you off because Canzone did distract me.
One thing here this series that's been frustrating, crazy enough, the Mariners have scored a few runs, no hits with runners in scoring position. That's how you do end up. I don't, they got a home run, great, they're ahead. Let's hope they win. But like how you end up losing these games is not adding that run on. Naylor gets to second with nobody out. Got to find a way to get him home. Get up 3-1 there. Like, got to do a better job at those things. Got to mix that in with the home runs a little bit.
Yeah, because when you get to playoff baseball, hitting home runs is going to be a little bit more of a rarity. And knowing that the Mariners live and die by home run, and we did sort of see it in 22 that there were times they had runners in scoring position. They just couldn't get that 1 or 2 more runs in.
Yeah.
Oh, we got 3 strikeouts, the easy ground outs, or the failed pop-up.
Failed pop-up.
Oh, here we go. Time for some humiliation.
I got it. Oh, dude.
That one, I had a horrible angle. The thing was, and I don't want to put any knock on my second baseman. She'll even, okay, let's say this. I'll admit she admitted herself that if I went to steal her fly ball, she would be 100% for it.
Well, and you're going back on it too, which is, it looked like you're trying, it's hard to see, but it looks like you're trying to make a basket catch. That's a lot harder going back on something than it is coming in, with the dead view. So those are tough. Those can get lost in there, easily. And then you're thinking they're going to catch it. So,
And the
makes it
crazy
tough.
thing was, I still almost caught it, or she also almost caught it
Right.
off my ricochet.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
Yes, he does. That is.
There have been a few I've missed. Sometimes it's the next morning if I'm tired and did some vacations. Sometimes it's a series recap, but 95% of the time, yes, every game I have a post-game show.
I think he is the most consistent Mariner YouTuber out of all of them.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And now here at the 1-0, and that is a 2-0. Like, I haven't been so consistent. The only thing I've been consistent is maybe shorts and that occasional long form video, because for some reason podcasting and unless it's off season, it just doesn't click with me. It just doesn't. Like, I tried those post series ones and it's like 2-0, 3-0.
Well, appreciate it, Tokyo Joe. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoy, man. Thank you so much for subbing.
Yeah, it's like, and for some reason it works with you. I think it's the beard. It's got to be the beard.
It's tough though. Some nights I repeat myself a lot. It is tough. It's a lot of the same stuff, especially in baseball, because it can be very similar each night.
Like, I would think for Seahawks post game, that's a little bit more understandable. That makes more sense. But Mariners, for like, Mariners lost on a 3-1 boring game.
Right.
Like, I don't feel as motivated to do that.
Yeah. It's tough sometimes. There are nights where I'm like, I don't want to do it.
Or it's like, well, they lost, but I don't really care because it didn't feel like it was the game for them.
Even
like,
sometimes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
3-2, and that was a foul ball. Like that Rangers series, like when they won their first 2 games, for some reason I didn't even care about the third game when they got blown out, because it's like, it was just not. It just wasn't there for them.
Yeah, the DeGrom, and it was like DeGrom versus Hancock or
Logan Evans.
Kind of like, yeah, you're like, it's nice that we won the first 2. It's you take it.
And that's when like Texas was a little bit more of a loaded team, but that Houston series when they lost that third game, we were like, with a fully injured Houston team, we could have used that sweep.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's always different. And we had that game. We got to Hunter Brown. Had Hunter Brown just come out and shoved and Wu got beat up right away, I would have been like, hey, it happens. But we were up 3-0. Oh, I'm all Seattle. Mariners, Seahawks. I'm not a Kraken fan. I grew up a Coyotes fan, but I just don't really follow hockey anymore. And then college, I went to Arizona State, but I don't follow it a ton. But Mariners and Seahawks all the way,
3-2.
And the Sonics if they come back.
Yeah, I want to hear that one day going, what is up? What is going on here for some Sonics post-game recap?
I'll probably do like a couple just to do it to celebrate, but I'm not a big basketball guy. But I'll definitely be pumped that they're back. It'll make me watch more. But it'll be fun because I'll be casual, so it won't hurt me as much.
Well, you know me, I'll be very intense about it because, you've already seen me doing Sonics content lately.
I'll probably get wrapped up in it, though, and I'll become diehard, and then I'll live and
3-2. Strike 3 called, and that is going to be an out. And that's quite the opposite because Taylor Ward hit that home run when we thought it was like a pop-out.
Yeah.
And the only reason why we have the game muted is because we don't want the copyright police to snag us.
Man, I feel like these at-bats against the Angels are just like Kirby's at 62 pitches. Like everything is like 10 pitch at-bats. Can they just roll over 3 grounders once?
Now the pitch, and that's going to be a ball. Like, the ironic thing was, like, when the Thunder actually make a run, the Sonics algorithm actually does something, which is really strange.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think it was the most I've seen people from like the Sonics universe world.
Now here's a ground ball right to JP Crawford, throw over the first, and that is in time.
I think it kind of rallied him a little bit. So, hopefully that helps and everything. And yeah, no, it'll be fun. I'll probably get into it when they're back. It'll probably be like Oh, no, I don't care. I'm like, "Ooh, opening night tonight, Sonics Blazers. Let's pop that on."
The sad thing is, I went to that Lenny Wilkens statue unveiling at the Climate Pledge Arena in Seattle, conveniently just a week after the Thunder had won their championship. And now we got a pitch, and now here it is. And now here's a fly ball to left field, and Randy Arozarena is going to be there, makes the catch, and that's going to retire the side. And that's an easy 1-2-3 inning for George Kirby. And we'll go into the top of the fifth. But yeah, what I was going to say though was I went to that event and I noticed that the Sonics fan base is aging. Like a lot of Generation X and baby boomer fans were there. Like it was rare to see someone like at my age. And I think I saw maybe one Generation Z person. Like,
Well,
because when the Sonics left,
oh,
the youngest
07?
fans were they left in 08, but so the first half Gen Zs maybe, but then the second half Gen Zs, they didn't
Mhm.
exist. And then Gen Alpha, they obviously didn't exist when the team was around, so they're not going to care about Oklahoma winning or about a basketball team. So reason why we want a basketball team is because our fan base is actually aging than what people want to admit.
Yeah. That's a great, I hadn't really thought that's a great point though. Like you think about 2008, April of 08. So, I mean, there's people that are, 20 years old that don't remember the Sonics, even older, 23, 24, probably don't remember them. So in order to be like a Sonics fan and remember it, you've almost got to be 30 plus. And even then as a kid, you're not like when I was 11, 12, I wasn't like this diehard about the Mariners. I was into it, but it wasn't like every night, like, oh, what are you doing? It was like, oh, okay, we'll bounce back, whatever. I didn't lose an ounce of sleep over it. So it makes a ton of sense. It's kind of sad, a little bit because it's a great fan base.
Yeah, and the other thing is, like, if the Sonics come back, but they don't have the same Key Arena bells and whistles, I mean, I'll be happy about having a team, but I want my bells and whistles back from the old days.
Yeah. Oh
Like,
yeah.
It was like when they're like encouraging you to scream defense, or there's that huge like vamp up noise after the Sonics, like they're like down by like 10 that they closed it to within 4, and there's that weird vamp up music that makes everyone scream, and you feel like the stadium is shaking.
Right.
Like, that's what I want, but I don't know. But
what uniforms do you want them in?
All I know is it's going to be really ugly uniforms. It's probably going to be something very technologically geeky looking. Like, they're not going to do the 90s. I don't think they're going to do that, but I think they should do the old 90s one. But I have a fear that they won't.
Are you talking like early 90s where it just said Sonics and like, are you talking the one where it had
Space
like
Needle one?
That would be cool. I do like those. That would be a fun re-entry with it.
The most iconic one because it set itself apart from everything else.
Right.
And then Howard Schultz bought the team, and then he decided to get cute by changing uniforms, and it was good, but it was just out of the 90s net retro, and I don't think we were ready to transition to it. Now here's a ground ball right to shortstop Zach Neto. The throw to first, great arm, and barely gets him in time.
Good throw. A little bit off on that, and Williamson probably beats it out.
He really does. Zach Neto's been playing very well on defense. And now we got next up to the plate, I believe, is going to be JP Crawford. And I'm kind of curious, what happened to Cole Young? I haven't seen him for a while. Did he get
played yesterday. No, he played yesterday. I actually thought they might have sent him down. I guess they're kind of platooning him because right now the roster is just kind of odd because you want Polanco in there. So he's playing second base tonight. And then, I mean, we haven't seen Luke Raley in a few days. So they're going to have to do something here because they've almost got like an overload of guys that they're just not using.
They don't really need right now.
Yeah.
Like you would imagine that I think Solano and Dylan Moore, they are high up in there in the DFA candidacy as we're at 2-0 for JP Crawford. The pitch. And that is a strike.
My guess is they're probably trying to trade those guys, like just even if it's for like cash before the deadline. And then, if not, they'll be gone.
And now the 2-1. And now here's popped up to left field, and that's going to be very easy play. Too easy, it makes the catch. But it is tragic to see Dylan Moore just completely just fall apart. Like, I talked to some other friends, and they just say that he just looks completely lost. Oh, and now here is the manager of the Angels, and he is actually going to come out and pull Tyler Anderson, as I guess he's seen enough about all those pitchers that he's been pitching. And now we're going to go to the bullpen. It's going to be Bachman. And we'll be back after this timeout. And next ones, I got 3 strikeouts or groundouts.
Let's do the strikeouts. We got to see it. Unless it's
Those are the 3 strikeouts from that game.
I thought it was you striking out. Nice to see on the mound. Was that the game you got the run support?
Yeah. Like
Nice.
I said, it was 20-6 deficit, and we closed it to within 4 runs. That was the crazy part of that game.
Wow. That's wild.
Your favorite starting pitcher and your favorite starting pitcher of all time. You take that lead. That's your question.
Brian Wu right now, probably. I just think he's been the best. Of all time, I actually like Randy's the easy answer, but I actually like was more in love with baseball during Felix Hernandez. So I'll say Felix. I grew up with Randy, but Felix was more of when I was like in baseball and like truly diving into it.
Mine is going to be right now George Kirby. And when I was growing up, and I would say Randy Johnson because he's the easy choice, but when I grew up, I was watching Jamie Moyer, and Jamie Moyer was my guy.
Jamie's a good one. Jamie's definitely like Felix is my favorite just in terms of the stuff, but Jamie's like you said, like one of like my guys. Like you just can't not love Jamie Moyer.
I love when people are like, why doesn't Nintendo offer their console like at $90 with a game, knowing that I wouldn't know. As we are back from the break, and maybe Julio, like I said, he doesn't have to hit a home. Wait, do we have 2 outs? Oh, that's right, the bullpen. Yeah. I was like, 2 outs already.
Like, wait a minute, what happened?
We were just all that talking, and now here's Julio, and I would assume that he's just going to try to hit another home run. And now the pitch. And again, he doesn't have to, because let's give Cal Raleigh a chance to get him home run number 40. He's already 10 days behind from Barry Bonds.
Yeah.
Now the pitch. Now here's a ground ball right to the third baseman. Easy play. Throw to first. And that is in time. And that one I felt Julio should have ran that out. But could be off the back. Yeah, that's a good point. But I wonder what they're going to say. Are they going to review that
foot's
call?
off the bag. Yeah, he's safe. His foot's off the bag.
But even if he's safe, I'm like, Julio really should have ran that out. Like, look at that. He doesn't even, and yet his foot is way off the back. But again, it's like Julio's got to run that out.
Are they not challenging that?
I'd be shocked if they don't challenge it. Are they? I guess they're. No, I think they are, or maybe it's just under review. No, I guess they're not challenging it. It just went into commercial break. I'm just going to tweet that. I'm going to say, no challenge. That one was a challengeable call. But until then.
I think he was unless I missed something where like maybe initially the foot was on the bag. Or did they go to commercial by accident? Sometimes it goes to commercial by accident, but.
Did you get NCAA football? By Tokyo Joe.
Oh, to me? Or no, it's to Josh.
Oh, Josh, not you. Whoops. Okay, here's groundouts. My 2 little
ground balls and strikeouts. Ground balls and strikeouts, best thing possible.
The other cute strategy that I do is, so I go through the entire lineup first to just get a feel for them. And if any of them hits a bomb off of me, I do the intentional walk. But here's the twist. If you walk the batter on consecutive pitches, it's an automatic double. But if I get a strike out of him, like an accident foul ball or like a bad swing, depending who's up next, because it's boy, girl, and I don't mean to sound sexist in any way, But if the guy is like a bomber and the other batter's like prone to strike out, and I have one strike on the dude, I'm gonna walk him. Now here's a line drive. That's gonna be a base hit, and they did not review the call, and that's gonna be a single for Logan Ohape. So yeah, I tried the intentional walk, and I've had people upset with me during tournaments. They're like, "What? Are you scared of me?" And all I said was pretty much like, "What else am I
actually?
What else am I gonna say?" But he was deep down, he was just aggravated that he didn't get to hit. I was like, "It's all in the strategy."
Yeah, absolutely. Then get better players behind you.
Yeah, pretty much. And I think we beat that team too. And
nice.
Oh, he says I am sexist. Of course he did. Well, there's a Tom Brenneman moment right there, if you remember that.
Right.
Another 1-0 and a swing and a miss. And I still feel bad for that guy. I know what he shouldn't have brought what he said in a booth. Pretty dangerous thing to do, no matter what you believe in. But to get fired over, it was like, woo. They didn't mess around in 2020. The pitch. Now here's a ground ball, could be not a double play ball, and that is going to be a base hit. And you see the lack of hustle out of Julio, which is why Ohape is now at third base. I feel like Julio should be. That's the second time. Like he's not hustling the first base, which should have been an easy single off the third base.
And Ohape would have gotten to third anyways. That wasn't.
You think so?
Julio. Yeah, that's because that's just hit so slow up the middle. Nothing you can do on that one.
But something tells me that Cole Young could have fielded that one pretty well.
Yeah, that's more, I would say.
Polanco just doesn't have defense, which is really sad to see. Maybe he should practice being a first baseman. Now here is Lamont Wade Jr. And just like the movie Moneyball, how hard is first baseman? It's incredibly hard. Now the pitch outside for a ball. Nintendo with the 3DS had a huge price cut at the start because no one bought it. To be fair, Nintendo had a huge competition with their handheld devices, and it was called the smartphone. The smartphone killed handheld. That's why the Nintendo Switch was basically saying, screw it, we'll just make it a handheld and a console at the same time. And that's why the Nintendo Switch did so well. I actually bought one myself. As we're at 1-1 for Lamont Wade Jr. And now here's the 1-1. And now that's going to be a ball that gets away, and that's going to be a runner on second base. And now this is where things get very, very dangerous. Now you got runners on second and third. There is no outs. So the question is, do you dare just throw in the towel and just do the intentional walk? Now, if you do that, in warning, you're going to be going up against Zach Neto, Mike Trout, and Nolan Schanuel. I would think that they're just going to go after and just try to hope that he gets a strikeout or maybe some kind of simple pop-up. That's the two best case scenarios right now. The pitch, and that's going to be a foul ball. And yep, it is clear that George Kirby is just going right after him. As we're at 2-2. And this is Lamont Wade Jr. And now we're at 2-2. The pitch, and that's going to be a foul ball. And I don't mean to be an insecure, self-comparing person, but my direct competition in these live streams, he has 154 viewers right now.
Wow.
And I have 10. And I'm saying I'm happy about having 10. But the guy, I'm going to say it, he's been doing this for over a decade. And he does like 150 games a year. So I can't really be jealous or anything. The pitch, swing and a miss, strike three. So the best case scenario did happen. And that's going to be one out. Now it's going to be Zach Neto. And this is a very tricky spot. Like, do you dare do the intentional walk and try to get a double play out of Mike Trout, which may not even happen? So I think they're still going to go after Zach Neto and try to get the second out. And then if you have that second
I don't
out,
want to load him up for Trout.
Work with. You don't want to load it up for Trout, yeah. But the Switch, which sold insanely, never had a price drop. They never had a price drop. That is true. Yeah, they sold too well. And now the pitch. And now here's a fly ball to deep left center field. Here's Julio to the track, and he is going to make the catch, but tagging at third is going to be Logan Ohape, and now that's going to be a tie ball game.
Honestly, if you can get out of this 2-2 with second and third, nobody out, that's a win. I mean, in all honesty.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, considering the circumstances that they were in. But that lack of defense by Polanco is something that it is in my brain, unfortunately. Tokyo Joe says, Nintendo is the worst. I refuse to buy their consoles. Are you a Sega guy then? Like a Genesis, Sega CD, Sega 32X?
Sega CD.
And now here is the pitch by Trout. And that is a ball. I actually, when I was in softball about a couple weeks ago, I was just having a breather, just going on my phone really quick. I just happened to accidentally come across a video with the Sega Genesis, and it was like showing like all the accessories being all put together. And now here is Mike Trout. And now here's the 1-0 pitch. Now here's a ground ball right to Ben Williamson. Good play. Throw to first. And that is in time. And like you said, like considering the situation they were in, the fact that they were able to hold it to a tie, not the worst thing in the world for the Mariners.
This next half inning will have to be my last. So hopefully let's get like 10 runs. Let's end it with the banger here.
Let's end it with the banger. And I think what's happened is when you leave, they do something weird too.
So it always happens. As soon as I'm off, something weird happens in the game. It's like the most boring, dull game. And then as soon as I leave, the Mariners score 7 and the other team scores 6 or something.
Oh, man. Yeah, where was I? Oh, yeah. So I was watching a video on YouTube in the dugout. It was like all the Sega Genesis and all the accessories being put together, the 32X and the Sega CD. And then my captain was like, hey, why don't I take that? He's like, hey, leave the porn away from the game. Leave it at home. This is what I said. And I was like, actually, I was actually watching the Sega Genesis getting raped by the 32X and the Sega CD.
That thing, because it had all those attachments. They didn't sell it. So you like, it was like, putting it all together. It was like all the different wires and everything.
Yeah, it was a huge mess. And on top of that, the games were terrible too.
Yeah. Yeah.
And at that point, it was getting to the point where it was like, they should just, like the 32X, they say that should have been its own console. And better yet, they should have just came out with better games. But the Genesis did have good games. They just couldn't compete against the almighty Nintendo, because it turns out that Donkey Kong is what killed that competition.
Yeah,
the Super Nintendo. Yeah, Sega and Super Nintendo were like right at neck and neck, and then once Donkey Kong happened, that was the death of Sega right there. I think you were saying Sega stuff too.
I would say Sega was better for the sports games too, and more sports. If you're a sports gamer, Sega had the better titles for that. But Sega was a good console. They're both great. I miss those days. I miss the battles of which one was better. It was fun.
And now it's like Nintendo, which is technically a monopoly at this point, because Xbox is becoming a lot less popular. PlayStation is even mad. Basically, everyone is like off their game.
Yeah, and Nintendo, I feel like, is so much different than PlayStation and Xbox too now. I don't know. I just don't feel like they're even that similar.
Yeah, and the Xbox, they just have their in-house games quality has declined drastically. Like they were living and dying by Halo, and now Halo's not exactly a popular game anymore either.
Gotcha.
And now we're at 2-0 for Cal Raleigh. And now we're at 2-0. And now here's the pitch. And now here's a fly ball to deep right field. And that is gone. And the Mariners take the lead. And that is Cal Raleigh's 40th home run of the season. The last Mariner to do that was Nelson Cruz. And now the Mariners have that 3-2 lead. And that was an absolute bomb. And for some reason, I could tell that it was a home run because of your hand signals. I saw that.
Keeping it in there. Number 4. I thought that was hit even further off the bat. That thing looked crushed. But yeah, still can't get those hits with runners on. We'll just hit 20 solo home runs. I'll take it.
Yeah, and then once we get to if the Mariners get to the playoffs, they will just completely goose egg it offensively. That is home run number 40 for Cal Raleigh.
Wow.
Fifth
Incredible.
player in Mariners history to do so. First, it was Ken Griffey Jr., then it was Jay Buhner, then Alex Rodriguez, then Nelson Cruz, and then Cal Raleigh. He joined some very impressive company.
And still with a lot of games to go.
Yeah, and I wonder how much Ken Griffey Jr. got to 40 home runs at this pace. I got to look that up.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Ken Griffey Jr., obviously one of the greats of all times, and we knew that was gone. Like that, the moment it hit I was like, yeah, that's gone.
That was crushed.
Let's go to 1994. So, what point are we on? It's like, what's the record of the Mariners? So they are right now, they're 55 and 49. So in 104 games, let's find out. In 104 games, Junior was actually at 37 home runs. So he has surpassed Ken Griffey Jr. of 1994. Now let's go to 97 when he was also on a really good pace, as Randy Arozarena is on a 3-0 count. In 1997, he was at 32 home runs because I think that's when he was slumping. Wow. At 98, when the season he should have beat the record to Roger Maris, as we're at 3-1, and now the pitch, and that is strike 2, 3-2, and he's actually on par with Ken Griffey Jr.'s 1998 numbers.
Yeah, I would say he's probably really close there.
And now let's go to Barry Bonds, the pitch, and that's going to be a foul ball. 2001 Barry Bonds. I actually saw his 40th home run at Safeco at the time when I was a kid.
Oh,
I was actually there when it happened, right after the All-Star game. And after that All-Star game, all the decorations were still there.
Oh, that's funny.
The 3-2. And that's going to be ball 4, take your base. Oh, my gosh. At 104 games, Barry Bonds was at 45 home runs.
He must have just gone on a tear after the All-Star break then. Obviously. The guy had 73.
I mean, 2001 was a very unique season. They said that was the most fun season to watch. The Mariners 116 wins, all the steroid era was like pretty much at its prime. A-Rod was blowing up. Mark McGwire was at, wait, I think I'm on the wrong. Oh, I looked at 2001 Mark McGwire. Whoops. A little bit different there. The pitch, and that is going to be outside for a ball. Mark McGwire was at 44 home runs at that point.
How about
Slam and
Sammy?
Slam and Sammy, let's look that up in 1998. As Josh Naylor is working on a 1-0 right now with no outs. Let's get some runs in here. Let's not live and die by the home runs. Let's actually get some runs with people on. And now here's the 1-0. And now it's going to be a strike in the throw to second, not in time. And great hustle by Randy Arozarena as he gets there on time. Oh, it looks like the umpire is not happy. I wonder. Oh, he's going back to first.
Well, because the pitcher messes up and we don't get a stolen base.
Yeah, how could that be the fault of Randy Arozarena? Now, Dan Wilson's not happy about it. And I think this was a similar way on how Julio Rodriguez got screwed over in Anaheim a couple years ago. And that's when Eugenio Suarez cooled him down. Yeah, I don't see what the problem was. Yeah, Naylor seemed to be confused. And now Dan Wilson's coming out, and he's going to have a little bit of a chatter, and I don't know how this is going to go. He's just having a conversation. He's probably just asking, like, hey, what's going on? Like what's up with this?
Yeah, what's the ruling here?
Yeah, not really much of an argument. It's more like, what's going on? Yeah, these rules just get more confusing as the years go.
Yeah.
Now it's to the point, like, you can't even block the plate. Like, in softball even, I'm not allowed to have my foot touch home. I actually have to be slightly away from it and then, like, dive for the tag.
Right. Yeah, I just don't get because, like, I hate using this word in professional sports, but like that's not fair. Like we lose the stolen base because their pitcher didn't come right. Like then I guess he loses it too. Like that should be part of the punishment. Like, oh, guess he should have come set quicker or something. I don't know. It's just
Yeah. Hey, the pitcher wasn't ready. You go back to first.
And unfortunately, with no sound, we don't get to hear kind of what the issue was.
I think we might be just dead on anyway. By the way, Sammy Sosa was at 37 home runs. Something must be happening. Oh, and now, yep, you're right. Something's going on, and looks like there's a warning going on. Like, are they having the umpires I'm gonna raise the volume for a little bit.
Yeah, what's going on here, dude? Get this. If
he
this
must
clown
be
doesn't
upset
know how
with
to
the
pitch,
pitcher.
then get him out of the game. Like, if he can't figure it out.
I was under the impression, if I remember this correctly, that if a pitcher commits this infraction more than once in the same at bat, then at that point, a balk for the runner, or
There could be a possible balk, according to what Goldsmith is saying.
What? I think it's the pitcher. I have no idea. Well, Dan's about to get tossed here.
Looks like Dan Wilson is visibly upset, and now he's on fire right now.
Well, because it's like, oh, he's messed up. Oh, stop. Oh, he messed up. Stop. Like, what point does he get punished for not following the rules here, or whatever I don't know what it is, but
It looks like Manny Acta's coming out to basically, hey, Dan Wilson, let's just let it go, kind of thing. It's not worth it.
I don't know what the. Yeah, I'm not sure what the call. It's something about coming set, but if he does it more than once, it's supposed to be like a balk.
And they're not even giving it to him, and that's why Dan Wilson is upset. And even Josh Naylor is really confused. And now Josh Naylor is having a conversation with the umpire.
I'm surprised Dan stayed in the game. I think the ump's given him a little leeway there because I get not understand. I don't know. But of course it benefits the Angels because why wouldn't it?
And looks like Dan Wilson, did he get tossed or did he not?
I don't think he did.
No, yeah. And mercifully, he doesn't get tossed.
I don't know what the issue. Still barking. Well, let's hope Naylor hits a home run and that'll fix everything.
Yeah.
I'll make it easy. It's gonna be a double play next.
Yeah, just like remember that bases loaded double play in Anaheim and you chucked your hat?
Oh, was that the broken no, that wasn't the broken screen one.
No, that was
just
the
hat
Rangers
chuck.
game.
Because
No,
we
you
were
just
just like,
chucked
let's
your
watch
hat.
this. Because I think we like tried to
1-0.
reverse jinx it, going like, oh, double
Yeah.
play, and then sure enough.
Yeah, and then our friend was like, I'm gonna go hang myself, which I know he didn't mean it, but it was
Right,
like
of
that's how
course.
intense that game was. And and to Tokyo's point, I think he said that there's always drama with Angels games. Oh no, it's this guy from
Yes.
Twitch. There's always drama.
Yep.
The pitch. And that is a strike.
He's
Let's
right.
not remember when the Angels had a complete meltdown inning where they just gave up runs at will because they were just completely lost in that game. And that was 2022. It was so bad that John Boy talked about it.
Yeah.
Now
we
we're
had
at 2-1. The pitch. Low for a ball and the throw to second, and this is not in time. And that was kind of a similar situation to when Julio Rodriguez, remember when he was asked to go back because of a pitcher's incompetence and
right.
preparedness.
That's when Gino calmed him down.
Yeah, and then Julio just went on to
That
go
was
on
in
a tear.
Anaheim. And that
Yep.
was in Anaheim.
Always got to love these Anaheim games.
Disneyland's supposed to be magical, and yet it's a house of horrors.
It's magical horror. As we're at 3-1 for Josh Naylor, very favorable count. Let's see what we can do here. And now the pitch. And that is ball 4, take your base. Now you got a runners on first and second with nobody out. What can possibly go wrong? And looks
Well,
like
No,
it looks like manager is out and looks like he has seen enough. And I think he's going to pull out this pitcher because he's just driving him nuts.
I don't blame him. This is probably just some merciful, like, dude, I'm done watching it. On that note, I am going to have to get going with this inning going a little bit longer. So we know something crazy is going to happen. It's either going to be a triple play or a 3-run home run. So just get ready, people, because as soon as I leave Rooftop Streams, the games get weird. So
Let's do that for playoff games. Like, assuming
Yes.
they make the playoffs, You're
Yeah.
just there. It's a boring 1-1 game, and then oh no, that could have happened in that Houston American League Division Series where
If we were doing
leave
it,
and
they
then
would have. If I was here, they would have won because it just would have been a boring ending. But if I would have left, then Jordan hits the home run. But as always, appreciate you having me on, my friend. Thank you so much. And we'll hopefully do it again here soon this week.
yeah, soon enough, and have a good day.
You too. Take care. Tokyo Joe, probably post game tonight, if not tomorrow morning at the latest. Just depends on when this one ends. So take care, everybody. Rooftop. Have a great night, my friend.
Have a good night.
You too.
And that was Jay Trident Podcast. Very appreciated his time there. And now let's hope that Mariners can finish the job. And now I gotta have some. I think I might just get a soda. Maybe like after this inning or so. And Josh, I'm inviting you since you're here too. Josh, get in the game. And we are back from the break. Mariners are still talking about that fireworks night. It's been a while since I've been to one. Last time I went to one was in 2022 when the Mariners made the playoffs. Literally the guy who bails me out. He's now this call to the bullpen as Jay Trident Podcast. I guess the YouTubers have came out and they have seen enough of Jay Trident Podcast. Or Jay Trident Podcast has seen enough of himself. And now we're going to go with the bullpen for Josh.
And yes, the Josh has been in how many appearances now?
Enough at this point. I think you're surpassing Steve and Jay Trident. Obviously, I think you're the most co guy. And now we have Jorge Polanco going on a 2-0. And by the way, this is the channel where rivals get along.
Yeah.
Oklahoma fans, Houston fans, even Yankee fans sometimes. A pitch. And that is a strike 2-1.
It really depends, though, on the Yankee fan. Because
I mean, they like my Tino video.
Sometimes Yankees fans can be very full of themselves.
Yeah, they're all about that 27 World Series, just like 49er fans about their 5 Super Bowl rings. And that is going to be 3-1 to Jorge
fans?
Polanco. How about
the
Cowboys? It's never the year for them.
How about them boys?
As we're at 3-1 for Jorge Polanco. Like throw to second. Not in time.
Than the Cowboys. And that's a sad thing to say because I'm a Texans fan.
Who's a Houston fan? Oh, yeah, Josh is the Houston fan. How about them Cowgirls? As we're at 3-1 for Polanco.
I am not a Cowboys fan. Never have been. Never will be.
I would hate to be a Cowboys fan.
I'm like, why would I want to hate myself?
I wanted to move to Dallas at one point, and I still refuse to be a Cowboys fan.
Oh, yeah.
3-1.
Like,
low for a ball,
and
ball 4.
About, like, Dallas teams. Okay, Mavs I don't care about. Like, I'm a Rockets fan. The only team I kind of don't like is the Spurs, just because of Wemby's statements about the Rockets being not a winner, and he didn't want to go to them.
And you took that personally.
Oh, I will say, if Houston does win the finals and the Spurs don't, I would laugh so hard.
Who wouldn't? And now here's the pitch. Isn't that kind of ironic, though? Seattle fans will be happy if Houston Rockets win an NBA Finals, but they're always pissed when the Houston Astros do something. Kind of weird how things work.
Because we got to, hold
1-0.
grudges on things that are almost a decade old now.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and 2022 had nothing to do with any kind of like sign stealing either.
Well, literally, you can count the people that were on the 2017 squad on the 2022 squad on your hand. Like, on one hand.
Here's Mitch Garver. And now here's the pitch. Low for a ball 2.
Yeah, I'm all like, the problem is with Wemby is he's very much a player that is not longed for a long career. Like, he
Look at his
has
legs. It's all
his
skinny in the
body
twig.
is
The pitch.
way too fragile.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. If he was playing 90s NBA, his body, I don't want to know.
Yeah, he would have made like he might have not even made his rookie contract complete.
No. He would have
He would have crumbled to dust.
imagine Patrick Ewing just bumping into him. Shaq bumps into him. What about
No,
Charles
imagine
Barkley?
him facing off against Jordan. Oh.
You wouldn't want to know.
Yeah, I'm all like, I can tell you how that outcome is. It's not going to be pretty though.
Even just going up against Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman handling him defensively.
Oh,
And now we're at 2-2, the pitch. And that is going to be 3-2. No, I was saying when it was between Victor Wembanyama and Chet Holmgren, I was like, Chet Holmgren.
but yeah, I will say that going back to Dallas teams. Okay, I hate the Cowboys. Don't care about the Mavs.
3-2. And that's going to be popped up into right field. Still running they are. And he makes the catch. And is anyone tagging? No.
No, that
Randy.
would have been a stupid idea to run there. It was way too close.
And now we have 2 outs, or 1 out. It's going to be Dom Canzone.
But
And also,
the Rangers. Now, this is an odd thing. I actually used to kind of be a fan of the Rangers back in their early 2010s. And then they got this current roster, and a lot of the current rosters, to put it bluntly, a lot of those guys are not they don't come off as nice dudes. They kind of come off as jerks.
the pitch. And that is going to be a strike.
Ooh, that was good.
We're at 0-1 right now. And now here's the pitch. And now here's a reaching ground ball. And that is actually going to be a base hit. That could score in 2 runs. Randy Arozarena scores. And now who else is going to score? And Naylor scores. And now the Mariners have just extended their lead to make it 5-2 on a 2 RBI single by Dom Canzone.
Finally, he got his hit.
He finally did it. I mean, he recovered from this, certainly. The 0-2 pitch.
You gotta love these guys.
I mean, he literally just swing. He
Oh my
literally
God.
just swinged
None
at
of
the
those
dirt.
were in the strike zone.
It wasn't even in the strike zone, and he just swinged it. Like, why?
Literally, that wasn't Taylor Scott.
And we're back.
Yes,
It's
I
5-2.
did spoil it a little bit. I just said that was nice. It could have been that was a nice pop up. That was a nice that. It happened to be
Because we've
contact.
got Ben Williamson. And now here's the pitch. And that is a strike. Jay Trident Podcast actually spoiled the Cal Raleigh home run.
Yeah,
He didn't even say anything. He was like this.
yeah. Well,
We're
I
at
think if
0-2.
there had been a little bit more delay, I would have spoiled it because I literally put Cal's name in there.
Swing and a miss at the dirt for strike 3. And that is going to be 2 outs. And next, it should be JP Crawford up to the plate, who is 0 for 3. Oof.
But yeah, when I was mentioning earlier about the deal, is everyone's all like, why can't they have a deal like that with the GameCube? I'm all like, simple. The GameCube sold terribly. They were begging people to buy a GameCube.
Star Wars Rogue Leader was carrying that game for a long time.
Well, yeah, it was that. It was Mario Kart and it was Smash Bros.
Now here's a ground ball, and that could be a play of nope. Oh, he just bobbles the ball, and that's going to score in a run. And now the Mariners have a 6-2 lead as the infielder, the Angels, literally just lost its focus, and now that gets the Mariners another run.
Here's the classic Angels.
Yeah, I think this is where I think this could be a John Boy video
Yeah.
waiting to happen. Look at that. I think this game has John Boy all over it.
Yeah, definitely. But even the Wii, the reason why Wii Sports was there is because Nintendo didn't want to actually pack in Wii Sports, but Reggie, at Nintendo of America, said, "Hey, we should pack in Wii Sports because that's a good way to show off the technology.
And looks like
even
Julio
Elon
Rodriguez
Musk
is actually going to be intentionally walked because Angels want nothing to do with him right now. They're just going to let the slightly struggling Cal Raleigh do it, I guess.
Yeah. Well, the sad thing is about Bomberman is there was a little thing called Konami happened, and Bomberman has only come back for one, like what? It's been 2 games, like Super Bomberman R, and I think there was a sequel to it, and they were okay at best.
I lied. Julio Rodriguez they're actually going to pitch to Julio Rodriguez, and now here is the pitch, and that's going to be a ground ball foul. He has a career OPS of 1.228, 12 home runs, and 24 RBIs in his career in Anaheim.
Nice. Well, players always have that one stadium that they are just really. It
just works. Yeah. My theory on Julio is I think he just likes the beach vibes of Anaheim and Los Angeles. So I guess that calms him down. Now the pitch, and that is inside for a ball. I mean, this kid grew up in a country that literally like tells everyone that we have beaches. Come here.
Yeah, beaches everywhere.
Basically. And I actually do want to go to DR someday, not only to go to a beach, but also check out the baseball games. Now here's a ground ball right to the shortstop that's forced at third, and that is going to be in time, and that's going to retire the side.
Joe, they did kind of like it's still there, but it's not nearly as good as the older games. And it's largely because Hudson Soft is out in the pitcher.
All right, I have some choices for you. We've got 3 strikeouts in softball as a pitcher, 2 groundouts, a failed pop-up, a nice exit velocity line out, a diving catch, or getting run support by my best friends.
Oh, we'll do the diving catch,
Let's do
Probably
it.
A good one to see. Well, it was better than when you went to call your shot and you hit a pop-up.
Can't be worse than that. And
well, yeah, because it's kind of funny. You didn't mean to do it, but you did point out. So it was like you were calling your shot.
I kind of sealed my fate on that one. And actually subbed in for another softball team on Friday. I actually was appointed as the pitcher because I told them, like, hey, I can pitch. And the captain was like, oh, yes, please pitch. My pitcher is out. I could use you. And I was like, okay. So I won the 2 games, or we won the 2 games. And now they're inviting me for the playoffs next Friday.
Oh, you get to play in playoffs.
And the crazy thing is, those 2 games were actually easier to pitch because I actually had defense to work with in my church league. In the church league, no hard feelings. For a league that's supposed to be easier, I have less defense to work with.
Playoffs.
Tokyo Joe, I'm usually a pitcher, and I'm an outfield on my other team on Mondays.
So essentially, you're Babe Ruth. You even tried to call your shot out.
I'm Babe Ruth, I guess. So I'm not Otani. I can't be Otani.
Well, okay, Otani is Japanese Babe Ruth.
He is Japanese. Now, where's my? I guess I'll be the Korean Babe Ruth.
Yeah, you're Korean Babe Ruth then.
And we are back from the break, and George Kirby is still pitching here in the bottom of the 6th to Nolan Shanuel. Now the pitch, and that is outside for a ball. I wonder if that inning from that last inning disaster from the Angels could actually warrant a John Boy type video. I'm kind of curious if that could be. And that is actually going to be a strike to Nolan Shanuel, and that is going to be 1-1.
But yeah, what happened with Bomberman and Hudson Soft is around the early 2010s, Konami just did a hostile takeover and completely.
Now here's a ground ball, and that's going to get right through for a base hit.
Bought out all of Hudson Soft and then dissolved all of Hudson Soft as well. And that's why if you were a fan of Mario Party, that's why Mario Party just went on a giant hiatus during the Wii era. Like you had 8 and DS, and then there was nothing until like the end of the Wii when 9 came out.
And now here is Taylor Ward up to the plate. And Cal Raleigh actually made history, became the first catcher and first switch hitter in Major League history to hit 40 home runs before the end of July.
So what's the most for a catcher? Because I'm going to guess he's going to get close to it.
I think it's Javi Lopez or Yogi Berra.
That would make sense for either one.
Salvador Perez, 48 and 21, 45 for Johnny Bench. Javi Lopez, 43. Todd Huntley, 96. Mike Piazza, 40.
Salvi was not one I would have guessed.
I would have not guessed that either. And he did that in 21.
Yeah, that's one I wouldn't think. But I think it's safe to say Cal is probably going to get 9
He
home
just
runs
might.
before the
Unless he has some really stupid slump.
yeah,
like
unless he breaks something.
something
and-
has to happen.
Yeah, like unless he gets injured and goes out for the season, he's probably going to break.
I think the most famous are either the two, Chan Ho Park or who's the other guy? Oh, Shin-Soo Choo.
Yeah, I was thinking that name popped up. And I was I wasn't sure if he was Korean or not.
2-2. And that's gonna be low 3-2. And also, since you're the division leader still, you get to choose either between 844 or 843. Take a look at them.
Let's see. And the sad thing is when you did grid 1818 and like what was it 1819 or something like that, I would have won that so easily. Well, I did it because it was the players I thought of. I got a 33 rarity.
And not Joe Adell. What's his name? Taylor Ward actually has just struck out against George Kirby, and now we've got Joe Adell.
Okay, which ones were they again?
I'm gonna say 844 or 843.
Okay, let me check these two.
And the pitch. And that's going to be outside for a ball for Joe Adell. And that's going to be 1-0. Now we're at
we'll
one.
go 4. We'll go 844. These are
Here's a line
ones that
drop.
might-
And that is going to be a base hit. And now here's Canzone trying to throw to third base. The throw to third. And it's off the mark. And now we got runners on first and third with only one out.
Uh-oh.
And the next batter is going to be Moncada. You might want to get this guy out because he's 0 for 2. Oh, what teams do they play for? Chan Ho Park played a combination of like the Dodgers, Texas. Like he was actually a journeyman. Shin-Soo Choo mostly played for the Cleveland Indians and the Texas Rangers.
Yeah.
And Shin-Soo Choo has been the best Korean player. And little do people know, Shin-Soo Choo was actually part of the Mariners organization.
Yes, and then they because I remember that from the urinating tree video. Who's this Shin-Soo Choo guy?
Who the flip cares about him?
Yeah.
And did you know, on the same day the Mariners traded Shin-Soo Choo to the Indians, the Mariners played the Indians, and Shin-Soo Choo hits a home run against the Mariners, and they won 1-0. Can you believe that? That's like a Mariner thing to do.
That's the sometimes there's some perfect irony. Now, did you happen to see earlier, because I sent a list of just players that MLB.com is saying are on the possible trade block? Did you see any of those names other than Gino?
Who were they?
I think the Mariners
Here's the pitch to my. I don't know. Like there's someone in Baltimore for their bullpen, possibly.
Yeah, let me look at.
And the worst part of that Shin-Soo Choo trade, they traded him to get a backup first baseman to Richie Sexson, and that didn't age well at all. It was Ben Broussard. They traded for a backup first baseman.
Hey, the Dodgers traded away Yordan Alvarez for
Josh
pitcher,
Fields.
and a relief pitcher who only played until halfway through until 2018, and has never played since. And in his best outing, like in his best year, 2017, he gets to go pitch in the World Series for 1 inning. It happens to
1
be
and
against
2.
the Astros,
The
and he
pitch.
helps the Astros.
Oh,
win.
and that plunks him, and that's a wasted opportunity right there. And now Moncada is just thriving in pain right now, and now the bases are going to be loaded. That was a lost opportunity for the Mariners right there. As
I
we've
wonder
got,
if Dan's seen enough here because Kirby is also getting up there.
yeah, he's up at 93 pitches, and now this is where you wonder, where you say Dan Wilson has seen enough.
So yeah, I'll just go through the list again. So there was Gino.
Oh, that really hurts.
There was Mitch Keller, Merrill Kelly, a lot of the Diamondbacks, a lot of the Pirates, a lot of Orioles.
Orioles are
also-
definitely selling.
Also Marlins as well. Ryan O'Hearn.
Yeah, Kirby has really been off his game this season.
Adrian Hauser. Edward Cabrera. Griffin Jacks.
I wonder what Kirby is arguing about. Kirby is visibly frustrated.
Is he arguing that it fouled off of him?
I think that's what he's trying to imply.
Johan Duran on the Twins. We'll skip that one because he's already been traded. David Bednar.
Ryan McMahon's already been traded.
Yeah, that was the one that was there. So I was all like, he's been traded.
I wonder what they're going to show in the replay. Maybe if Moncada is flopping about it, but who knows?
And then there's Jake Bird, Victor Vodnik, Seth Halverson, which are all Rockies, but they have like club control up until almost 2030. Marcell Ozuna on the Braves, Cedric Mullins, Luis Robert Jr. Who is going to pick him up?
Yeah, and how much is Chicago really going to ask for him too?
Yeah, I'm all like, and also, how much of that $20 million is the team going to be on the hook for in his contract?
How do you feel about a wild card game if our starters are falling short? Last season, they shut teams down. I don't know. I don't feel good about it.
Yeah, you don't want to go into a wild card or a playoff series in general where you live and die by the
they're living and dying by the home runs, and we know that's not going to work that's not going to end well. I mean, we've seen it with the 97 Mariners. They lived and died by home runs. Like, they set the Major League record of 264 home runs, and next thing you know, they just got blanked. Not saying blank, but they just got handled.
Well, think about the 2019 Twins. Still hold the record for the most home runs hit by a club.
Now here's Logan O'Hoppe with the bases loaded. And now here's the pitch. And that's going to be a foul ball.
And what did they do? They did nothing with that.
Yeah, they flamed out.
There's also Charlie Morton, which he could be interesting, though he is getting he's up there in age, but
The pitch. That's going to be a ground ball foul. Marshawn Lynch is my all-time favorite football player.
all-time favorite. Okay, for me, it's in between two guys. It's either Andre Johnson or J.J. Watt.
That's nothing biased. But wait, I'm biased too because I like Marshawn Lynch.
Oh yeah, I love that. Oh, there's nothing biased.
As our 0-2.
Yeah, sure.
And
I
now here's the
also
pitch.
I would say
Up high
third
for a
is
ball.
Peyton Manning.
I'm going to say Barry Sanders is up there for me too.
I would also say Arian Foster, but that's also another bias pick because I'm a Texans
And then he just
fan.
disappeared after 2012.
Well, what it was is he was carrying the team
pitch.
there, and then his body
Swing
just
and
broke down.
a miss, and that is going to be strike 3. Down goes Logan O'Hoppe.
Then we got Okay, some other players. Ryan Helsley on the Cardinals. Anthony Bender. Andrew Heaney. I could see someone actually taking a chance on him because he's a guy that, while he might not do the greatest, he eats up a lot of innings.
Arian
Zach
Foster's absolute
Gallen.
prime was in 2010.
But Zach Gallen could possibly be on the trade block.
Here is Luis Rengifo, and now here's the pitch, and a swing and a miss, and that is a strike. Top three: Marshawn Lynch, Barry Sanders, and who else do I? I like a diva, Terrell Owens. He's funny. He was entertaining. You know what's funny?
Yeah.
Do you know how to get people to feel bad for the Cowboys? Swing and a miss, strike two. The one time the Cowboys didn't get hate was when Terrell Owens did this. And then all the hate went to Terrell Owens and not the Cowboys, because if they hate the Cowboys so much, they should have commended Terrell Owens for doing that.
No. When everyone felt bad for them because Leon Lett decided to hop on that football and lose the game.
Oh, inside. And George Kirby is losing control. And I would think that if Kirby cannot get this guy out, Rengifo, I think
cannot get out of the inning right here, this is probably it.
I think regardless, like, Kirby's not going to be pitching the next inning because he's at
not
100
going to be
pitches.
pitching it, but I could see if he doesn't get this guy out, he will be.
He's at 100 pitches as well. But here's the thing: if he was at 100 pitches and still wheeling and dealing, then fine, keep him. But I think he's just losing it. As now we're at 1-2.
Well,
and now here's the
also in a
pitch.
game like this,
Up high for a ball, 2-2.
Literally, if they hit a home run here, the game's tied.
Well,
So
at
you're
least
at
I
a
get to
point
see
where-
at least I get to say my signature call.
Yeah.
As we're at 2-2. And the pitch. And now here's a fly ball foul. Hey, I like RGR21. I like a guy with personality and charisma. There's nothing wrong with that. But T.O. did let a lot of things get to him. But I do think the whole thing with his fallout with the 49ers, I think that was more on Steve Mariucci than Terrell Owens.
Yeah.
And now the 2-2 pitch. And that's going to be popped up and fouled. The cost of burning the bullpen in games 1 and 2. Yep. That's why George Kirby is still out there. He's at 103 pitches now. And the thing is, Mariners still have to play on Monday. So they're not going to get a day off until August. So this is going to be a really tough stretch.
Yeah.
As we're at 2-2. And now the pitch. Up high for a ball, 3-2. And this is where things get very, very dangerous. Kirby now has to reel in a strike, or else he's going to give up a run. And if he pitches a strike, that could leave Rengifo with an opportunity to get some runs in. I love Antonio Brown. And now we're 3-2. And now the pitch. And a swing and a miss, strike three. And that's going to retire the side.
That was foolish.
George Kirby's showing the passion. And now let's get right to it. Which one did you want, 844 or 43?
44.
All right, here we go.
Okay, Yankees threw a no-hitter. Let's do Don Larson.
I think that could be an obscure one.
Okay. 200 career wins. Pitching, Yankees. Let's go Randy Johnson.
I would have said Andy Pettit.
Well, yeah, Andy Pettit could have been another good one there. Okay. Actually, 200 strikeouts, 200 wins. Let's go Andy Pettit.
I really gave you one, didn't I?
Well, we'll see.
Nope.
He didn't do his I didn't know if he did 200 strikeouts, but we'll go with
That's
that.
200
But,
wins.
Okay. 200K pitching and threw a no-hitter. Let's go with Justin Verlander. He's probably going to be way up there, but I definitely did not want to do Nolan Ryan because that would have been bad. Okay. let's see. Cleveland 200 K season. Let's go Bartolo Colon if he did that.
We did.
Okay.
When he was not so much of a big guy.
Yeah. Okay. 200 strikeouts, 200 wins. Let us go with Max Scherzer.
200 strikeouts and 200 wins. We got Max Scherzer.
Okay.
Oh, and now here's the pitch. And now here's a ground ball foul. I'm going to have to stop you there. And it's going to be 432 is what you got.
One of my better ones.
Next I'm going to do is 843. That's what I'm doing. And I'm already feeling not so good about that. RGR21 has just subscribed to my membership. And I just want to say thank you for doing so. What you'll get is fantasy football content and softball content as we're at 0-2 and really just supporting me. And the pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3, down goes Cal Raleigh. And that is going to be 1 out. And I'll be doing the immaculate grid going into the top of the 8th because bottom 7th is
you got the 7th inning stretch.
7th inning stretch. I'm probably going to show a softball highlight. We'll choose either 3 strikeouts, ground outs, a failed pop-up, or getting run support. You choose.
Do the getting run support.
We've got Randy Arozarena to the plate, the pitch, and that gets away, and that's going to be ball 1. He literally is living and dying by the home run now.
You could almost say he's catcher Kyle Schwarber. He basically is.
Pretty much.
He's very much this season. He is very much the 3 true outcomes kind of guy.
And that's going to be 1-1. And so we got swing and a miss. Now we got 1-1 and the pitch inside for a ball, 2-1. And the pitch, and that's going to be 2-2.
But yeah, an interesting thing was earlier you mentioned that the 32X should have been its own console. Interesting thing was Sega was actually planning to
the
make
pitch.
One.
Well, swing and a miss, strike 3, another strikeout for Fulmer. My opinion on Suarez, he's going to cost quite a bit to get him. But at this point, if the Mariners really want to compete for the playoffs, they really don't have a choice. Yes, they lost. They got nothing out of Suarez with that trade, but do they really have a choice? They really just have to swallow their pride. But we know Jerry's not.
Well, yeah.
Now here's
I'm all like DePoto. That's actually one thing.
Now here's popped up.
I didn't actually think about, but is DePoto one to swallow his own pride and say I messed up?
As he makes the catch, and they're having a little bit of a chatter. The Angels were not really communicating, but let's just go straight into the 7th inning stretch. We've got the take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back, so let's root for the Mariners. If they don't win, it's a shame. It would be a shame because they're up 6-2. 4, it's 1, 2, 3 strikes. You're out at the old ball game.
Oh! In the gap, let's go. Oh yeah, let's go. Stay second, Greg. Bring it home. Don't touch home. Woo! Yes. Let's go. All right. Needed that. Stay free. Good contact. Oh, yeah, let's go! Let's go!
Well, the problem is with Dipoto is, what does Stanton want? And if he is perfectly fine with what they have, Dipoto is not going to get fired.
Yo, you got an Astros fan on your show? What's wrong with that?
But yeah,
And we are back from the break. Here's Trent Thornton. And that's a strike. And as predictably, they were going to pull George Kirby for the difficult inning he had with the bases loaded.
Yeah. But you could see, Dipoto actually struggling to swallow his own pride there because he messed up. But also, this one thing that I brought up in the comments earlier is that if the problem is Gino has done almost
1-1, and that is a strike, and that's going to be 2-1, 1-2.
Because you have the problem of that.
Pitch. Now here's a ground ball right to first base, Josh Naylor, and he goes to the bag, and that's going to be 1 out.
It's not just the Mariners going for him. It is everyone's going for him. And everyone who says, oh, the Yankees are out, they pick someone else up as the fallback option. Guess what? If they had the ability to, they would also get Gino as well, just because they're the Yankees.
Skull emoji.
So I wouldn't necessarily count out the Yankees. But the thing is that the Dodgers, they definitely could use a guy who can hit more home runs because their offense has been a bit lethargic. Good chunk of the AL East, the NL East, they could all, like a lot of them could go for someone like Gino. So for the Mariners, it's not just the fact that you have someone who is trying to swallow his own pride for messing up, but you also have the fact that he's the top candidate, and every team seems to need
0-2. That's going to be low for a ball.
With one exception, the Cubs, they do not need more offense. They need more pitching.
As we're at 1-2.
Is the pitching is suspect.
We're at 1-2 for Zach Neto, and now the pitch, and that's going to be popped up to right field, and Canzone is there, and he makes the catch, and that is going to be 2 outs.
Well, it also depends on Judge's injury. If it's actually really bad, that could actually they could actually go for someone like Suarez just because they need to fill that Judgian size hole.
Now we've got Mike Trout up to the plate. He is 0 for 2 going up against Trent Thornton. And now here's the pitch. And that's going to be inside for a ball. Trout is now batting .234 with 18 home runs and 45 RBIs, basically having Randy Arozarena type numbers.
Yeah. Yeah,
everyone
we're at 1-0. Like, he's the best player wearing 27 this season.
Unless you want to count like Austin Riley. Oh, looks like Judge strained his flexor tendon. Oh.
Now, I'm also going to say on this that, strained it. The thing is that we should.
Now, here's a ground ball right to Ben Williams, and he has it. Throw to first, and that's going to be in time. And while I go on the Immaculate Grid, say what you got to say, because I cut you off right there.
Take it with a huge grain of salt, because let's look at it. A lot of these sports team medical staffs, they hold it way too close to the chest. They say, oh, it's a simple fracture, like a simple bruised bone. No, he broke his arm or he broke his leg. And, oh, yeah, he's out for most of the season. But no, but when they immediately say on it, it's not a big deal until, it turns out, oh, yeah, he actually had a concussion. This is the same Yankees medical staff that said that Anthony Rizzo didn't have a concussion for 2 months, despite the fact he had a concussion the entire time.
Now here's where I'm at. Watch what I got.
Oh, Paul Skeens. Ouch.
I know. Didn't really have much of a choice.
Was that your Willie Mays moment?
Yeah, that was a Willie Mays moment right there.
I don't think anyone's been able to really replicate a Willie Mays moment like me.
No. Braves and Blue Jays.
This is why I did not pick this one, because really
I can see why.
the ERA was the only one I
That one was
might have
tough.
been able to get, and still.
Twins and Pirates. Yeah, I'm just blanking. Twins and Baltimore.
Yeah, because these are teams that just don't follow. So I'm all like, I don't know a lot of players that played on these teams.
Twins and Braves. I'm just lost. Oh!
Oh, that
And
was
we
a
are-
good one.
And I lost.
Whoa, look how close that was, though.
I know, as we're back from the break.
Yeah, Cole probably would have won it for you if you had done Cole for the ERA.
Yeah. Johan Santana for the Twins. I don't know how that game works. I'm too lazy to explain. But you pick any of those players within those grids, and it's and you want the more obscure players.
Yeah.
Brett Boone was no. I had Brett Boone as a Braves and Twin.
Yeah. So, like, for instance, let me refer to grid 1818 because that was one I completed. It was all like 3,000 hits, Rookie of the Year, played in major leagues. And it was Hall of Fame, Gold Glove, Silver Slugger. So with
1 and
each of
2.
these boxes,
Now here's
you
a
have to
blooper
have
to left
someone-
center field, and that is going to drop in for a base hit. And Jorge Polanco will get onto first base with a single so far in the top of the 8th inning.
you have to have someone who matches up with those two boxes. So, if, like, for an instance on this one, the Hall of Fame row, I did Roberto Clemente, Jeff Bagwell, and Old Hoss Radbourn, which Old Hoss no one picked because he lived in the 1800s.
Now here's Mitch Garver up to the plate, and now here's the pitch. And that's going to be popped up into right center field, and he's going to make the catch, and that is going to be 1 out.
Yeah. But, some good picks on this grid specifically. Like, my worst pick was Ichiro Suzuki for Rookie of the Year and Gold Glove.
I love this guy. We're now considered the boomers. Believe it or not, RGR21. Take a guess how old I am. The fact that us 30-year-olds are now the millennials are now the boomers now. And now here's Dom Canzone up to the plate. And now here's the pitch. And that gets away, and that's going to be a free base for Jorge Polanco.
But yeah, Ichiro was my worst pick, and still it was only 15%. My best pick was actually played in major leagues and won a Gold Glove. I picked Dallas Keuchel, despite
Now
the fact he's won a ton of
Dom
those.
Canzone. And now here's the pitch, and that is a strike. I'm 33 years old, RGR21.
And I am a child in here.
Yeah, you're a child. You're like in your low 20s. Like, make the most of your 20s, by the way. Like, grind
Yeah.
everything you can. As we're at 1-1 for Canzone. Now the pitch, and that's going to be a foul ball.
Though apparently more people picked Old Hoss Radbourn than they picked Yordan Alvarez for Rookie of the Year and Silver Slugger, which is kind of weird because you would think a lot of people would have picked that one.
I guess so. Now we're at 1-2. And now here is the pitch. And that is low for a ball. Next ones, we've got 3 strikeouts, 2 ground outs, a failed pop-up, or the line out. The 2-2. Now here's a ground ball
Let's
foul.
go 3 strikeouts.
3 strikeouts, yep.
Oh, I did see an interesting thing. Some people were talking about switch to switch to upgrades, and there was one that was done for Hogwarts
2-2.
Legacy where
Swing and a miss, strike 3.
if you had the Switch 1 version, it was like $20 to then just get the Switch 2 version on your Switch 2 to get all the upgrades for it. And the funny thing is now people are just trading the game around because apparently you didn't even need it to be like you didn't need the cartridge to actually get that. You just needed to have it registered. So people just get the cartridge, put it in, and then spend $20 for Hogwarts Legacy.
Low for a ball. And also, I'm going to show the failed pop-up because RGR, since he is a member, he gets dibs over you.
Yeah. It's fair.
He paid for it.
Yeah.
The 1-0. And that is a strike. And that's going to be 1-1.
Farewell, Tokyo Joe.
Oh, he's got to go, doesn't he? Yep, he does. I'll be back tomorrow, by the way. As we're at 1-1, the pitch. And that's going to be a ground ball foul.
Yeah, the Rockies. Oh, my gosh. 27-77. Oh, jeez. Sadly, I think they've won too many games to get the worst all-time record. I think they've won too many.
Don't the 62 Mets hold that record?
No, the White Sox
Pitch.
hold the modern record. Oh, technically, the Mets have a worse win percentage, but the all-time record is the 1899 Cleveland Spiders.
Did the Cleveland Spiders fold, or where they end up, or did they just become the?
Oh, they folded. They folded after the 1899 season.
That must be. And now here's a ground ball, and that's gonna get right through for a base hit, and that actually could score in the run. That's going to the throw to the plate. No, it's not gonna be thrown to the plate, and Ben Williamson adds some insurance for the Mariners to make it 7-2.
Yes, the Spiders ended up with a record of 20-134.
How embarrassing.
With a .13 win percentage. And funny thing is when Cleveland was changing the name, Spiders were actually brought up that they could do the Spiders, and they just didn't want to be associated with the 1899 team.
And that is going to be a strike to J.P. Crawford, as we got 2 outs. Nice to see Ben Williamson put in some runs.
And really the sad thing about it is if you look at the Spiders the few seasons before, like even the season before this one specifically, they were actually a really good team. Like they had many future Hall of Famers, including Cy Young, on the team.
Now we're at 1-1.
How do you go from that to that?
And the pitch. Swing and a miss, and the throw to second. And Ben Williamson is safe at second base, but Crawford is now down to 2 strikes.
And if you're wondering how you get to that, it's called the owners own 2 teams, and they sent all the good players to one team and essentially turned the Spiders into a minor league team. Oh my gosh.
Wait, what?
Oh my gosh.
Whoa. That is a new record.
Big spender here.
That's a big spender right there. Not only becomes a member, but he just broke the record for the most donations. And he got me the record. No, and he got me the goal.
Yeah.
And now you just surpassed William Cook. Now his name is going to be moved over, and I got to put your name in there. And now the pitch. Now here's a ground ball right to second base, throw to first, and that's going to be in time. And I better put his name in there, RGR21. And after I fix that, wow, I did not even expect that. Someone's just on a mood right now.
Yeah.
I will more than take it. RGR21 becomes a member and becomes. Oh, I gotta save it. Now your name is immortalized for now. And now let's look at the pop-up, the failed pop-up. You're not gonna believe this.
I got it. Oh, dude.
Any thoughts on that?
You know what that reminded me of? The 2005 World Series, sadly.
Ugh.
Because there was a pop-up like that, and Biggio ran out to go get it, and he missed it. But yeah, an interesting thing is so I'm looking at the baseball reference for the 1899 Spiders. Their best pitcher has a .1 ERA, and he played in one game for 3 innings. And their best hitter has a .9 ERA. No, .9 WAR. .9 WAR. And I think he wasn't even on the team for most of the season. Yeah.
Oh,
He was on
RGR,
the
thank you
Louisville
for
Cardinals.
pointing out that I have the great energy. I try the best I can, and not only do I do Mariners, I also do Seahawks and the Seattle Supersonics. Hopefully,
Hoping
and
that they
Seattle
come
Super. I think honestly though, if you saw the recent sayings, I think relocation from New Orleans or Memphis is actually more realistic than expansion. I think owners might be more in tune with that than expansion because they don't have to revenue share anything.
The Pelicans aren't leaving. The Grizzlies, yeah, I can see the Grizzlies leaving. I could, because the only reason why they came out there is they wanted to go to that cool Pyramid Stadium. That was the only reason why they were there.
And then they were like, nah, we're going to build a new stadium.
Well, because the Pyramid Stadium didn't work. It's now a Bass Pro Shop.
I know, I saw that YouTube video about that.
Yes. And I actually told my dad that because he was all like,
here's a liner to right field, and that's going to be a base hit by Nolan Shanuel. And now he's on first base.
We went to this Bass Pro Shop, and it was a pyramid. It was so cool. I was all like, yeah, that's where the Grizzlies used to play.
And now we've got Taylor Ward. And now maybe, I'm not saying that this is going to be dangerous, but you just don't want to give the Angels any kind of a chance for a comeback because us Mariner fans have seen a 7-2 lead on Houston before, and we can tell you what happened with that. And now here's a fly ball in can zone, still running. That's going to be a base hit. And now that could get, that's going to be runner on first and second with nobody out. And this is where things get very, very dangerous.
I could go find the clip where I have the announcer saying it, the Alvarez hits it deep right field and gives a goodbye.
And I would have been like, now here is the 0-1 pitch, and that is a fly ball drilled to right field. Forget about that one. And Scott Service, what an idiot.
Service is calling on Robbie Ray to face Yordan Alvarez, one of the most feared hitters in the game. Myers at second base, the pinch runner. Pena the runner at first, the tying run. Alvarez launches deep right field.
Of course you had to do that. Yeah, I know.
You know that line lives in infamy. Alvarez launches deep right field and kisses goodbye.
And that is a strike, and that's going to be 0-1. And we got the erratic Carlos Vargas in the bullpen, and now the pitch. Now here's a ground ball, and that is going to be a foul ball. Hey, Josh, you said you have Twitter, right?
No, I do not. I don't have
you
Twitter.
don't? You got like nothing.
No, like I technically have an Instagram and a Facebook account. I don't log into them ever. So, yeah, I don't.
And now here's the 0-2 and the pitch.
Avoid that.
And that's going to be a foul ball.
Yeah, like the issue is that New Orleans fans are very protective of their teams. Like, because they saw how close they came to losing the Saints after Katrina. And I don't think they want to ever experience that ever again.
The pitch, low for a ball.
And the thing is that for the Pelicans, what helps their case to stay in New Orleans is the fact is, so the Superdome, didn't it get recent upgrades?
I would think it did at this point. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Down goes Joe Adell, and that is going to be 1 out.
So if it did, that means the Saints are happy for like another 5 years. And yes, I was. I'm not that young. I was alive during Katrina. I wasn't over there. I was in, I was over in the Houston area.
Yeah, but didn't Houston get hit as well?
No, not really for Katrina. Now, Rita, they did get hit, and a lot of people evacuated for that.
Now, here's a ground ball, double play ball. Here's the throw. The second throw to first, and that is in time for the double play, and that is going to retire the side. We go to the top of the 9th inning, and it's still 7-2 Mariners. And let me see. What else do I got left? Well, you said 3 strikeouts, I think.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, a little cute
More
little 3
strikeouts than
strikeouts.
I ever got playing softball. Even though I was technically the pitcher, I never actually pitched anything. I just stood out there because I was tall.
Now, where are we? Well, I'm going to delete the 3 strikeouts because I don't care about that anymore.
Why would you put Munoz out there?
Well, Munoz is... Yeah, why would you put Munoz
Yeah,
out
I'm
there?
all like, why? Well, also, he wouldn't be up at this point. Well, would he? No,
I guess he's out there in the bullpen.
Because it's in Anaheim. So yeah, why? Like, this makes
Yeah,
no
they're just
sense.
wasting him. They're just wasting him.
Oh, okay, okay, I see that.
Oh,
I
looks like
see that.
Munoz out there. I'm not a Munoz. I claim to be a George Kirby because I usually don't walk batters.
Oh, no. I got it. Hector Neris.
You coño. Is that even the right word?
I'm
gonna look it up.
You could have just said something really bad.
Cono. Tu cono.
Hopefully the other, word wasn't something like really bad or something like that.
And in English translation, it's basically wussy. I can't actually say it, but I just replaced the W.
I know what that.
But somehow Seattle Times blew that up into like, oh, he said that's what he meant. It's like, no, it was just trash talking.
Like, like it was like a racial slur or something like that, and you're all like, no.
No, there was a guy from Dominican Republic on Twitter that really put it on blast, going, no, Suarez is just being insane. And Julio is, yeah.
Yeah, it was just some people at Seattle just being a little bit butthurt about the situation.
They were just mad that they lost, because they needed a distraction. And the Mariners were 1 loss away from missing out on the playoffs. So,
and
of course,
the funny thing is, had they just focused on the Texas series, they would have eliminated Texas and they would be in the playoffs, and they would have faced Houston most likely.
Yeah, I think in that series, Houston and the Mariners were like this to each other, like Spider-Man style, at least. Yeah. You would think. And here is Julio, who's at 2-1. And now here is the pitch. Now here's a ground ball chopper right to the shortstop Neto. The throw to first, and that is in time, and that's going to be 1 away.
But
Aaron Goldsmith and Angie Mentic are on the call today. But an alternative, we got Rooftop Sports and Josh on the
Yeah.
alternative call as the alternative play-by-play personalities of the Seattle Mariners. And now the pitch. And now here's Cal Raleigh, and that is going to be a ball. And Josh, I didn't get to tell you, but I'm actually on game number. Where am I? I'm on game number 44. Tomorrow it should be 45.
Nice.
Now the pitch.
Nice.
I think 80 is probably going to be much more realistic. Angie Mentic has actually grown on me this year, and I was admittedly not sure about her at first. You're actually one of the few Mariner fans to say that. Most Mariner fans really don't like her that much, as we're at 2-0, and now we're at the pitch. Low for a ball. But man, RGR21, I think you were old enough when the Mariners actually had personalities like Ron Fairley, Dave Henderson, Dave Valley as color commentators, and they were all fun guys.
I remember when the Astros still had Milo Hamilton.
We're at 3-0 for
He's
Cal
been
Raleigh
dead
pitch.
for a while now.
And that is a strike. My most favorite play-by-play guy of all time is Tom Brenneman. But of course, he had to make a mistake.
Yeah.
And the 3-1. And a swing and a miss, strike 2. He was bad, but he was funny at least. He's like, and like Rick Ritz would be like, goodbye, baseball.
Yeah, as you can tell, he had that pitch right down the middle, and it really he just really hit the life out of that one, and that was obviously like a home run.
Yeah, that was unfairly.
What was Scott Cerverus thinking?
Yeah, what was Scott Cerverus thinking about that?
The pitch. And that's going to be a foul ball. Now, this was Dave Henderson. Like, yeah, he really hit one really nice, and it was really smoothly hit.
And Castellanos launches a ball deep and hits a home run.
No, it was really like this. As Castellanos hit a home run to deep left field, and this is a game. And now swing and a miss, strike 3, down goes Cal Raleigh.
Now, and did you know that there was actually a Sega Genesis model that also had the CD player built in?
Well, at least it saved a couple of wires, I guess.
Yeah, so that's what the 32X model would have been.
Now here's a ground ball right off the foot, and nice footwork by the pitcher Fulmer, and that's gonna retire. Did you see that the ball? He used his foot to stop the ball.
Hey, whatever works. But yeah. So the 32X they were planning to make a Genesis version, like it was going to be a 32X, like. The console was going to be for the 32X, but it was also going to play Genesis games. And it was going to be like that CD-based one, just the 32X did not sell well enough to justify it.
RGR21, this is
about that.
RG1, this is for you. Like, hold that thought. Write it down.
The key to winning this game is to be scoring more than the opponent.
Okay, now you can go.
But the thing is that CDX model that's what it was called. It could not play 32X games on it at all, which is kind of weird because it has X in it.
Have you heard of DK Oldies? I think we talked about this.
Yes. DK.
Oh, remember this? Have you seen this clip? It's DK Oldies mail time. Oh, looks like Branch just wrote a letter from Massachusetts, and he says, "Oh no, there's a problem. We got to fix this." So, Justin, Grant got his PlayStation 2 controller, but there were cuts in the wires. How could this be possible? Well, we got some checks in place, and this one just slipped through. Well, what can we do for Grant? I'm going to make the replacement order. He can keep what he has, and we will give him some store credit on top of it. So what you're saying is that he can keep his stuff, plus we're sending him new stuff, and he gets store credit on top of that? Yep. Well, Justin, what can we do to prevent this? Add another check to stop this from happening going forward. Okay, so everything's going to get an additional check. Okay, I think that sounds great. We do the best we can. But mistakes will happen. We're always trying to find ways to solve the customer's issue and then some. Do you have a problem? Please write to me.
I've never heard anything good like console-wise coming out of DK Oldies. And their games are just like they are the worst priced games ever.
They are. But you gotta love their YouTubing. Their YouTubing is entertaining.
And honestly, with the name like DK Oldies and the logo, I'm surprised they haven't been sued by Nintendo.
Well, at least they didn't say Donkey Kong.
Yes, but they even use the Donkey Kong like logo on it. So it's like
I guess Nintendo just doesn't care. Now here's popped up. into right
guess it's just
field,
different
foul
love.
territory, and that is a foul ball. Hey, RGR21, are you Dave Niehaus, Dave Sims, Aaron Goldsmith, or Rick Riz? But it's more like, are you a Dave Niehaus or Rick Riz? Because I'm a Rick Riz guy. As we're at 0-1 for Logan Ohape. And now here is the pitch. And that's going to be popped up into right field, and Canzone should be there. And he makes the catch, and that is going to be one down.
Also saying that with the scoring more runs than the opponent makes me think of Booger McFarland one time. He said, to win the game, you got to score more points. Thank you, Booger McFarland. You got paid the big bucks to say that.
September 7th is going to be a doozy for me.
Yeah.
It really is. September 7th is going to be a doozy because here's what it is. I've got the Mariners and the Braves in Atlanta at 9:05, and then I'm going to have the Seahawks and the 49ers. I'm definitely going to have a doubleheader that day. Now, here's a ground ball right to second base, Jorge Polanco. Throw the first.
Mariners should
That's gonna be
win
in
that
time.
game. Just for how bad the Braves have been this year, they should win that. I say should, but then we have something like the Astros getting swept by the A's, which the Astros should have won that series. I don't know why.
That's true.
But... Now, I think part of it is that they're so injured that they're just literally spinning the wheels waiting until the players come back. Like, literally, I think they have an MLB, caliber pitching roster currently playing at the Double-A league, right? Double-A right now for the Astros. That being the Corpus Christi Hooks. Because, Javier is there, Garcia is there, and I want to say, Aaron Getty's also there as well. Because they're all doing rehab outings. Meaning, I think this weird funk that the Astros are in, I think is about to be over because they're starting to get players back.
Oh my God, I wasn't even paying attention. The game is over. It was like a 1-2-3.
Yeah, 5 pitches. It was only 5 pitches.
Wait, what? That's insane.
Yeah, Vargas only threw 5 pitches.
Well, the ball game is over, and the Mariners are now leading at 2-1. I think that's how much we're not paying attention.
Well, yeah, the game was over after they gave up all those runs.
You would think. Well, anyways, Mariners win on impressive offense. Not all of them had to be home runs.
Yeah.
It was Julio who hit the home run to tie the game. Then it was a Rosarena. Then the Angels had a little lucky of an inning. Cal Raleigh hits a home run. Canzone got his 2 RBIs. Polanco scored on an error. Williamson with a single. Yeah, wow. Yeah, I felt the same thing about Dave Sims. He just wasn't my style, but he tried. But now he's on the Yankees driving Yankee fans nuts. I mean, the thing is, I don't like Dave Sims that much. I'm not a Dave Sims guy, but I'll congratulate anyone that gets a Yankees job. You can't hate that.
Yeah, that's the big leagues right there.
That's a big deal. And they gave him that job. And now they're going to talk to Dom Canzone, but I'm whatever. Game's over.
Okay. Let's see how the playoff picture looks here. So for the wild card, the Mariners are currently in second. So they would be the second wild card spot right now. Red Sox are currently the cutoff with the Rangers a half a game behind them. And the Yankees are half a game in front of the Mariners. So very close to maybe getting in there.
But Texas, Tampa Bay, and Cleveland are going to be the ones cutting it close.
Yeah, it's going to be a close race. They would now be 3 games back from Houston. But again, I'm going to say that Houston, I think once their players are going to start coming back, their wins are going to start flowing in again. So I wouldn't count on the skid happening forever.
Oh, and the Mariners are 4 games back from the division as well.
No, 3. They haven't updated yet, I'm pretty sure.
Wow, 3 games. So things are going to get very interesting, and we're going to see how not only the Angels do, which, by the way, I'll be back tomorrow, possibly in the show with Steve, but haven't gotten an update from him yet, but hopefully he will be there. If not, I assume you'll be there.
Yeah.
I guess we'll have to find out. And I'm actually going to take
my
off
God.
because I actually have some food waiting for me. And I want to get a Julio Rodriguez home run on my YouTube short. But that's
Yeah.
going to do it. And let's do the shout out. Shout out to Jay Trident Podcast for being here. Shout out to Josh for being the relief pitcher. Tokyo Joe for your early comments. Christian for always being there as a Chicago man. Dan for saying welcome stuff. The biggest one is RGR
Yeah.
for
all
breaking
that
the
money.
record for who would have thought. And then Mr. Sticky for being around, and Chris talking about some Sonics, and TK was there for a second. Rodney was there. But everyone, that's going to be it, and I'm going to take off, and everyone have a good night, and go Mariners.
Go Astros.